for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Yeah. What's up? It's our boy Coach Malachi Williams in the building. Right now, you're rocking with New Media Today USA Boxing Podcast. And I'm turning the lights on right now. We're turning the lights on. Yes, the light bill has been paid. Hey, man, we got a whole lot to talk about in the sport of boxing today, man. There's a whole lot. I've been getting videos from everybody in my DMs on Instagram. Videos from everybody. People sending me videos, wanting me to talk about certain topics, want me to talk about what John Fury is talking about, want me to talk about the interview that Ada Hearn did with Seconds Out. You know, they want me to talk about a lot of the things that we found out was what went on with the arbitration. You see what I'm saying? We're gonna cover all of that. You know, I have my notepad here. I just ripped the paper out. I'm gonna cover whatever we can cover, man. Whatever we can cover. You know what I mean? John Fury. You know, you guys know how I feel about John Fury, but I'm not the type of guy who push narratives like those other channels and fanboys. Even if I don't like something even if it's certain things I don't like about an individual, you know, I will acknowledge that if that individual is telling the truth about something and I feel it's the truth, you have to give him credit. And this is the difference between when you are an unbiased journalist such as myself, because I am registered with the United States Press Agency. I've shown my press badges before on this show. I'll show it to you guys again. You know, but outside of that, when you're dealing with an unbiased journalist or just an unbiased person who covers the sport of boxing in general, you see what I'm saying? You give credit where credit is due, right? We give credit where credit is due. So you guys know that I initially was thinking that, hey, man, you know, Tyson Fury full of this and full of that. Even though Tyson Fury is a stone cold liar, we do know that. But we cannot absolve Bob Arum. Bob Arum is the worst of the worst, period. There's nothing worse than Bob Arum. I think the next guy that's behind Bob Arum is probably Al Heyman. Al Heyman is just a quiet guy, but he's the snake also. You see what I'm saying? You can't, but you can't. In the sport of boxing, man, is very, and this is what a lot of fans don't know. A lot of fans don't know that about the business, the dirty side of the sport of boxing from a business standpoint. They just don't know, and so a lot of times we blame the fighters for the reasons why certain things are not going down or transpiring, when in actuality it has nothing to do with the fighters. But you being a fan and I'm being a fan, we don't know that. The fighter is the person who we always are going to scapegoat for things that don't happen. But as I said before yesterday, you can't get mad. You know, it's like the Terrence Crawford situation, right? It's like I said before. When you have a narrative and when you don't like a person, there's nothing that person can do to make you like them, right? You can come up with a cure for cancer. You can jump in the Pacific Ocean and rescue 10 kids from getting eaten by sharks. The people who don't like you will say they just don't like you. It don't matter what you do. So the hell with them. I chump them off. Don't listen to them. But I say all that to say this. You can't blame it on a fighter for why certain things are not happening, but then turn around and say, oh, the reason why things are not happening is because this fighter has a messed up promoter. You blame it on the fighter, but then you turn around and acknowledge the fact that the reason why things are not happening is because of this promoter, right? So if you know that the promoter is the reason why things are not happening, how are you going to turn around and blame the fighter at the same time while acknowledging that the promoter is the reason why certain fights are not happening? Where am I going at with this, Coach Malachi Williams? I'm going at Bob Arum. Old man Bob Arum, 90-year-old sea turtle. And he's been in the game since Jesus was born. And he is the biggest piece of whatever, you know what, I don't want to say I've ever seen, because we've seen quite a few promoters. But him and Don King, you know, Al Heyman, now Uncle Al is what I call him. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But that's okay. Let's get right into it. Before we get into the show, let me give a shout out to my main man, Shane Carpenter. Shane Carpentier. Shane, what's up, fam? Right now, Ali Bell from my brother Shane. Put the super chat on there. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Let's get busy, man. Let's get busy. I'm sitting down in the chair right now. Let's get busy. Before we get into the show, let's talk about everybody, man. Here it goes. Yo. Call Wilder right now and tell him to get his second autopsy. Shout out to Leo Sam. Shout out to Wizard Sleeve. Shout out to Topin Time. Shout out to Mike Phillips. Shout out to Bacon and Eggs. Shout out to Victor Mean. Shout out to Mr. T. Shout out to my brother Halim. Let's ring the Ali bell for Halim, man. Ring the Ali bell for Halim. Shout out to Alan Skill. What's going on, fam? Let's see. Shout out to New Money DMG in the building. Shout out to who else? Who else we got? Shout out to Elvis. Shout out to Gardner O'Connor. Shout out to Tellum. Shout out to the OG in the building. Shout out to my main man Shane. Shout out to Angus. Shout out to Rocket Andretti. What's going on, fam? Shout out to Peter Ingram. Shout out to BG. Shout out to Michael Buffer. Shout out to Debo the God. You know what I mean? Yeah, I checked out ESPN pound for pound. Pound for pound is subjective. So, you know, there's nothing, pound for pound is just based on what your opinion is. That's all it is. I don't even hold no stock in that. Shout out to my main man, Dennis TV. Let's see. You know what I mean? So what we're gonna do today, shout out to Eliza. Michael Buff say, when I see Coach with the pen in his ear, I know he mean business. Yeah, man, we finna get to work today. We got a whole lot to talk about today. We have a whole lot to talk about today. Shout out to Peter Von Arts. Shout out to ADE. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to Eddie Vibe. Shout out to Mr. T. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to Lee Sule. Shout out to Benatti. You know what I mean? Shout out to Anna Lee. Anna Lee, how you doing, sis? Let's ring the Ali bell for Anna Lee, man. We gotta always support our sisters, man, and who love the sport of boxing. Anna Lee, listen. Anna Lee, you got to hit me up, sis. I want to get you on this panel, an all-ladies panel, where we can talk about the sport of boxing from a woman's point of view. You see what I'm saying? I reached out to several other women who I'm going to have on the panel, and I would just love to have that. It's just going to be an all-women's who love the sport of boxing panel. That's what it's going to be. I'm going to keep my mouth closed and let you ladies rock. I'll just moderate it. But just hit me up and let me know if that's something you'll be interested in. Shout out to Arlette. Arlette, how you doing? How you doing, sis? I love to have you on too, Arlette. Definitely love to have you on too. Any of the women, I love to have you on. We're gonna have an all-women's panel. We'll set it up. You see what I'm saying? Let's see. Shout out to my main man, Philly Fly. Shout out to my sister, Lisa Bales. Lisa, you already know. I definitely want to have you on as well, Lisa. You see what I'm saying? So, absolutely. Shout out to Chill and Watch UK. You know, let's see. Who else we have? All right, let Paul CX. Shout out to you. Shout out to Corn Kid. And shout out to my sister Lisa Bells. Shout out to Proud Father. And man, let's get right into it. All right, now, man, I got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about today. Bro, this is gonna be a very interesting show. Shout out to JC. All right, Nissan Warrior, shout out to you too. All right, man, listen. You know, I got my phone right here because I have a lot of videos today, man. It's like wait a minute, man. I saved everything on my phone. You know, I have a playlist, right? I have notes written down. I don't even know what I want to jump into first. We're going to address John Fury first. Southside Boxing. Southside. What's up, baby? Listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get into we're going to talk about what John Fury said first, right? I'm not going to say anything about Wilder. You know, we can't, again, I got to tell people before, you can't get upset with Wilder. Wilder did what he was supposed to do. But I'm gonna tell you something that I found out, guys, that I didn't know. The arbitration. Let's talk about this arbitration, right? The arbitration, right? In the arbitration, guys, the arbitration, according to the report that came out, Smith and West, what's going on, fam? Bob Arum, Top Rank, had an opportunity to cancel the fight for the trilogy with Fury and Deontay Wilder. They had an opportunity to cancel that contract out. They had an opportunity to do it. Literally. According to what Eddie Hearn said, he said, according to what Eddie Hearn said, and the report is out there, the arbitrator's decision, because it's public record, and what they had to do, what they could have done. Tyson Fury kind of got screwed over a little bit. Now you guys know that I've been kind of hard on Tyson Fury, but you know, it's a possibility that I could have been wrong about that. I just found it hard to believe that Tyson Fury didn't want to make all this money that he could have made fighting Anthony Johnson. Who walks away with that from that kind of money? Bob Arum, though. All fingers point to Bob and Frank Warren. Can't forget about old fish eyes, but definitely Bob Arum. All fingers point to Bob Arum. How do I know? Because let's listen to what John Fury says. Let's go to Mr. John Fury. Mr. John Fury, sir, let's see what's going on. John Fury said some very interesting things. Now, you guys know how I felt about John Fury in the past, but let's put all that aside. I have to call it like it is. Bob Arum and them probably lied to Tyson Fury, and they definitely lied to Eddie Hearn. This is Bob Arum. All fingers point to Bob Arum. Absolutely. You see what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is what it is. Now, we know that Bob Arum is terrible. He defecated on all of his fighters, whether it's Terrence Crawford, whether it's Manny Pacquiao when they had him, whether it was Mikey Garcia, whether it was Oscar De La Hoya when De La Hoya left, whether it was Floyd Mayweather. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, right? It is what it is. This is what Bob Arum does. He's an old guy. He doesn't care. He made enough money. He's gonna die soon. He can't take the money with him. You know, death. Everybody's gonna die. We all gonna leave here, but he can't take the money with him. So he's at a point where he don't care. He don't give a damn about anything, and he's doing bad business. Shout out to KB. Shout out to KB. He's doing bad business. So when you have Bob Arum and Fish Eyes coming together, you automatically know, man, everything is going to go wrong. So Tyson Fury got tricked because they believe Bob Arum. Eddie Hearn got tricked because he believed Bob Arum, right? So I never forget the interview, guys, that I forgot who was interviewing Bob Arum, right? I think it was IFL TV or somebody. I never forget the interview, guys, to where the guy said that, hey, Bob, you know, this is what you said today, right? What you're saying today is totally different from what you said yesterday. What you said today, Bob, totally contradicts everything that you said yesterday. Do you know what Bob Arum said, guys? Do you know what Bob Arum said, guys? He said, well, yesterday I was lying, but today I'm telling the truth. Now, how can you do business with someone like that? You can't. I mean, Eddie Hearn will probably still do business with Bob Arum, you know, with some other fighters. But as it relates to Anthony Johnson, Bob Arum should, I mean, Eddie, and you can't deal with him anymore. You see what I'm saying? You can't deal with him anymore on no level. This dude is not making big fights. He's making big fights as long as they're in-house fights. So if it's Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez, he's going to make that fight, but he didn't promote the fight. No one knew that fight was happening, had happened, or was going to happen. Here, you know, you have Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez fight each other because both of them are top-ranked fighters. But anything outside of that is terrible. Bob Arum has a history of treating his fighters like trash, irregardless of what color they is. Because I'm not trying to make it racial. You know, people will say, yeah, you know, man, this is what he do to the black fighters. No, this is what he did to Mikey Garcia. He's a Mexican fighter. He's not black. Look what he did to Oscar De La Hoya. He's a Mexican fighter. He's not black. Bob don't discriminate when it comes to screwing over a fight. He doesn't care who it is, what your race is, nationality, or ethnicity. He does not care. You see what I'm saying? So Bob Arum doesn't care who you are. Hell, look at Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor's white. He didn't promote that fight at all between Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez. So that tells you everything you need to know. Bob is in a situation in his life right now. He doesn't care. He's doing bad business. And his word don't mean anything. Boxing is already a cutthroat sport, right? So anyways, let's get right into it, guys. Let's get right into it. Let's listen to my main man, John Fury.
So God knows what the next 14 is going to do if I'm lucky enough to get that. But while I'm alive and while I'm fit and able, I want to do the best I can for Tommy.
Let's see.
Tyson, but Tyson obviously he's in a different league now. 20,000 yes men around him. You know, this is what happens. I think when you get to the top, there's a lot of leeches out there, a lot of hangers on. As you can see what's happening in America with him. Appalling work, to be honest with you, but that's just my opinion. But I'm straightforward. But that's Tyson's business. He's over 21. It's up to him.
When you say appalling, you're talking about the whole thing where, you know, he was going to fight.
Let's listen to this.
At the last minute, suddenly he's fighting Deontay Wilder.
It's diabolical, isn't it? You know, you're geared up to fight one man, and all of a sudden, on the 11th hour, it's all sorted in 24 hours. He's signing contracts in the hall of a boxing venue. You know, they're around him like the locust. You know, and I think to myself, how can you think straight with all that around you? It's, for my one, it's a mistake. It's a mistake. We can blame his team, can't he? No one else. Anything rushed is no good, and that's been rushed. He was fighting AJ. I wanted to fight AJ. I have no interest in Deontay Wilder. So why has he got to fight Wilder? I told him on a phone conversation, chuck the belt in the bin, let him have it, come back and fight AJ on the 14th of August like was planned. But who am I? I'm nobody, unfortunately. A voice that only certain amount of people hear. And because you don't drive a Rolls Royce, live in a castle, it falls on deaf ears, doesn't it? You can be idiots. You can be an idiot and an imbecile and come out of a big setup and they listen to you, don't they?
Yeah. I mean,
that's unfortunately the case.
And then you've got the detractors, like AJ's camp, claiming that they never wanted, Tyson never wanted it in the first place.
They're rubbish. I'm just concerned whether Tyson can raise his game for Wilder. Whether he can...
Let me interject. We're gonna finish listening to this, and then we're gonna go right into the Eddie Hearn interview. Eddie Hearn has some very interesting stuff to say also. John Fury is making a whole lot of sense. Basically, Tyson Fury got screwed over. Anthony Joshua got screwed over. Eddie Hearn got screwed over. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Eddie Hearn got screwed over. And then, of course, Deontay Wilder got screwed over, but now everything is working out in his favor as well. It all revolves around one person, Bob Arum. And I'm fixing to explain it to you. Bob Arum is the guy who just can't who just won't do right in the sport of boxing when it comes to doing business. And when you're dealing with, listen, he is a cancer. He is stage 5 cancer. Now I look at Al Heyman as stage 3 cancer in the sport of boxing. This is Al Heyman. I look at him as stage 3 cancer, right? But Bob Arum is stage 5 cancer. Stage 5 cancer is terminal cancer. He's a terminal cancer in the sport of boxing. Period. He's been around too long. Him and Fish Eyes, both of them. Fish Eyes might be stage 4. Bob Arum is stage 5. But anyways, Southside, what you say, fam? You say because when you have the belts, you have to try to please them all. The thing is, if the WBC wants you to fight someone, but the WBA wants you to fight someone else, then that's what the problem is. I made a video. I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna drop the link. I made a video. I'm gonna drop the link. I made a video by Anthony Joshua. I said, listen, man, you should drop those belts. Maybe just keep one. You're not going to get undisputed. Joshua won't get undisputed because he has to deal with Al Heyman, who is a cancer over there with the PBC, and he has to deal with now Bob Arum, who is the ultimate cancer for Top Rank. So the purpose of you holding the belts for you're desperately hoping that I can get one of these guys from the PBC who has the WBC strap, or from Top Rank who has the WBC strap. I can fight them and then become undisputed. The only problem is the power brokers with Top Rank and the power brokers with PBC will always play games, always lie, and will not allow this fight to happen. And then they will flip it and throw it on you and say you are the reason why. You see what I'm saying? So Anthony Joshua, with the belt or without the belt, he's going to make more money than Wilder or Tyson Fury combined because of his name and because of his accomplishments, right? If I was him, I just look. WBO, bye Felicia, holla at you. IBF, bye Felicia, holla at you. He may keep the WBA, or he may keep and this is why Floyd Mayweather used to win belts and drop the belts. A lot of people didn't know why Floyd Mayweather used to have belts. He'll win a belt, and what he'll do? He'll drop it. You want to know why? Because no sanctioning body is going to pimp him and make him and dictate to him when is he going to fight, who is he going to fight. When you reach a certain level and a certain status in the sport of boxing, you move how you want to move and do what you want to do, i.e. Canelo Alvarez. And if I want to unify or be the undisputed champion, I will. I don't care how much Canelo Alvarez wants to be the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world. If Al Heyman do not allow Caleb Plant to fight Canelo Alvarez, Canelo can't make nothing happen. This is what guys don't understand, fans and even fanboys don't understand about the sport of boxing. The boxers are like minions in the sport. Even though the boxer is the reason why there's money in the sport of boxing. People are paying to see the boxer. They're not paying to see Bob Arum. They're not paying to see Al Heyman. They're not paying to see Frank Warren. They're not paying to see Eddie Hearn. They are paying to see their fighters who they like fight the best fighters in the world. The reason why fights do not happen is because of the power brokers in the sport of boxing. Sometimes it is the fighter. Sometimes it may be a fighter who want to duck this guy, duck that guy, whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? But 99% of the time, I say 95% of the time, it's the power brokers in the sport of boxing. It's the power brokers in the sport of boxing, right? KB said if AJ dropped the belts, I don't think he cares about the belts anymore. He didn't need them every time. He just had a chance to unify. Does not happen. Exactly. He has the belts, and he still hasn't became undisputed. Fans don't understand it. As a fan, we get emotionally invested into wanting things to happen for our fighter, right? But we don't understand the business of it and the politics of it. So we just brush that aside, right? Because we don't know. What you say? No, Coach. AJ wants to become undisputed. He has no choice but to play the game. And when he does become undisputed, the hell with everyone. Yeah, but I don't see him ever become undisputed. And I'm gonna tell you why I say that, Michael Buffer. I'm gonna play an interview from Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn said the same thing. Eddie Hearn has said the same thing, fam. Eddie Hearn saying that he doubt that AJ will become undisputed. But I don't want to jump ahead of myself. Let's finish listening to John Fury.
Gets complacent, makes a mistake. But I don't know. It's got a chance of going wrong out there because I don't like how it's been handled. It's been bad.
He said that there's a good chance that, if Tyson Fury has become complacent, right? Shout out to Beast Mode. Carl Fury, what's going on, fam? He said that he fears that if his son Tyson Fury becomes complacent, there's a good chance that he may lose that fight with Deontay Wilder. Remember, guys, you heard it from me first. I said that. I said, listen, there's no guarantee that Fury can win that. He's going to win that fight. Because if he gets complacent, if he feels like, while I beat Deontay Wilder last time, I smashed him last time, I'm going to smash him this time. Listen, he's not going to see the same Wilder in the second fight, in the third fight that he saw in the second fight. And if anyone believes that, you know nothing about the sport of boxing. I just said yesterday. Alex Kill, what you say, fam? Coach, remember, I said the other day, what if Wilder decided to take on White and push the WBC mandatory spot? Sounds like a possible plan. Now, if Wilder beats Fury, he ain't got to worry about that. If he beats Fury, he get his belt back. But my thing is this here. If a fighter becomes complacent, and this is another thing I want to say, guys. Wilder got thoroughly embarrassed in that fight. Wilder came out with his costume on Black History Month. He wanted to represent for his people, and he wanted to put on a show of spectacle and knock out Tyson Fury. And remember, he made it racial for leading up to the fight. He got thoroughly embarrassed. Right? He got thoroughly embarrassed. Terminator, wait, hold on for a minute. He got thoroughly embarrassed. So now that he got thoroughly embarrassed, he want to fight him again. Right? So now, but there's no guarantee Wilder can win. He has a puncher's chance against Fury. But then guess what? We don't know if it go 12 rounds. You know what the judge is going to say. See, this whole thing is listen, guys, I don't think you understand. If the fight go 12 rounds, we have no idea how that's going to turn out. We think we know what's going to happen. We don't know nothing. Because whatever the powers that be say, it is what it is. Fury is going to have to stop Wilder in that third fight. If Fury doesn't stop Wilder, I doubt if he wins the fight. I doubt if he wins that fight if Fury doesn't stop Wilder. You have no idea how and I don't seen it happen a million times. If Fury / Wilder dropped the belt and Joshua drops on, everyone would understand it would be for the consensus of number one, regardless of the belt. Exactly. Exactly, Paul CX. Exactly, Paul CX. Exactly. At this point, but I'm gonna listen to you guys. J Max say, why would AJ drop the other belts? I'm gonna explain to you why. Be patient. Shout out to Terminator, shout out to Carl Fury. Carl Fury, what's going on, fam?
Yo,
What's going on? You got something you want to talk about?
I mean, all of this is just, it's a bit mad. Like,
Carl, brother, you need to speak up. You know what I mean? We need to speak up, brother. Anything you want to talk about as related to this subject matter, sir?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All of this is just mad.
Yeah, it is just mad. But absolutely, man. But as I was saying, as it relates to John Fury make a valid point. John Fury, this is probably the most honest I've ever seen this guy, John Fury. This is probably the most honest I've ever seen him. You know what I mean? As it relates to talking about his son, Tyson Fury. So let's go ahead and listen to what John Fury had to say.
You know, and that's just my opinion. No one else's. Tyson knows what he's doing. But I said, get back on a plane. Let's have a look at the situation properly. Let's assess it. But, you know, there's no bright lights and glitz here, is there? Withenshaw. What would you do? Want to be in Vegas with Withenshaw? Well, let me tell you, if you want to keep your WBC belt, you're better than Withenshaw. Enough said, eh?
Yeah. I was going to say about the Wilder thing, because obviously,
I want you guys to really listen to this interview. Go listen to it. I'll leave a link in the description below. I really want you guys to listen to this interview because John Fury makes some valid points. Basically, what he said, guys, I'm not going to bore you with it. He's just basically saying that, hey, listen, man, Tyson Fury's team dropped the ball on this. Tyson Fury team dropped the ball on this. This is not a Wilder's fault. This is not Wilder's fault. Too much noise in the background. Too much noise in the background. Too much noise in the background. This is not a Wilder's fault issue or whatever the case may be. Bob Arum dropped the ball. Everything points back to Bob Arum. Bob Arum, out of all the promoters, he's probably the worst. He is a stage 5 cancer in the sport of boxing. So now, there's no guarantee that Tyson Fury can win this fight against Deontay Wilder. I'm going to tell you why. If you go 12 rounds, you're going to leave it in the hands of the judges. There's no guarantee that the judges are going to rule in your favor. We all know this. If you've been watching boxing for a long time, you know this already. If you are a casual fan or a fanboy, you don't know nothing about what goes on in the sport of boxing. And I understand that, right? But we do know this. So now, this is Tyson Fury. He has the opportunity to make the most money he's ever made in his life to fight Anthony Joshua. But he has a promoter that had an opportunity. Let me break this down. This is what came out from the arbitration. The promoter had an opportunity to cancel out the actual contract of the fight for the trilogy match that Fury was going to have with Wilder. This is according to the arbitration report. This is not according to me. This is not according to the Alphabet Boys. This is not according to Anthony Joshua. This is according to the actual arbitration report. Bob Arum, 90 years old, dinosaur, had an opportunity. You know what, man? We could just terminate this contract in December. He didn't do it. So now that same contract come back to bite him, bite Tyson Fury in ass. Tyson Fury is the one that got screwed in this. Anthony Joshua the one that got screwed in this. Bob Arum. Now Tyson Fury is going to fight Wilder. He's going to make some money. He's not going to make nowhere near as much money as the first fight. I mean, as the second fight. Or he's not going to make nowhere near as much money as the fight he will have with Anthony Joshua. So we're going to look at everything and we're going to tie everything together. And when I finish, we're going to put a nice little bow on it, wrap it up, and I'm going to paint a pretty picture for you. This is how I see this stuff going down. But anyways, let me let a few people talk in the chat, and then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to finish cooking. Let them say what they're going to say, and we're going to do that. So shout out to the guests that came in today. We have Carl Fury, we have Dennis TV, we have Terminator, and we have God's Boxing. Go ahead, fam. What y'all got to say? Speak one at a time. God's Boxing, what's going on? I can hear you.
Yeah, can I go first?
Go ahead.
My name is Dennis. I was just gearing up for the undisputed match, and it's just sad that I can't see it. I was waiting for a Joshua Fury banner to be put up. Then this whole Bob Arum situation, he just messed things up, and I just feel sad because I was just waiting for that undisputed match with all belts on the line. And this promoters, man, they wasted Eddie Hearn's time. They wasted Anthony Joshua's time, and I just don't like that at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna explain something to you. We won't see no undisputed. We won't see no undisputed here. And what's going to happen is this here. You're going to have Wilder fans, Wilder team, Al Heyman, all of them, they're going to say it's Anthony Joshua's fault that we don't get undisputed. And then if Fury wins, you're going to have Fury fans and Fury team with Bob Arum and stuff. It's Anthony Joshua's fault we can't get undisputed. And then from Joshua's side of the fence, they're going to say it's Wilder's fault if he wins, or if Fury falls if he wins, and we don't get undisputed. Basically, it's Bob Arum, Al Heyman. It's going to be, if you want to say Eddie Hearn, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me at this point. All I'm saying is this here. It's too much politics in the sport of boxing. The boxers are pawns. So when I hear these people in the chat, not everybody that's here, when I hear people in the chat say, well, how come this fighter don't just do this? How come this fighter don't just do that? I understand that you know nothing about the sport of boxing. I understand that you just started watching boxing 5 years ago. Because if you knew anything about the sport of boxing, you would know that fighters can't do anything in the sport of boxing unless their handlers or their masters tell them they can move. When you sign a contract as a fighter to a promotional company, or like a PBC or a advisor company, so they're supposed to be, or a management company, what they're supposed to be. Guess what? You're going to have to do with what the masters tell you to do, who has the money. The people who have the deals with the networks, they are the ones who are the shakers in the sport of boxing, not the fighters. The fighter is the product. The fighter is the product, right? But the promoters are the ones who control everything. Whether it's Bob Arum, whether it's Al Heyman, whether it's Eddie Hearn, whether it's Frank Warren, or whatever the case may be. This is what it is. As a fight fan, you don't know these things. So we always blame it on the fighters. You know what I mean? And we have a tendency of doing that. Hell, even I've done it. I've been the victim of doing that myself. So, but I had a chance to sit back and obsess everything. And I said, you know what, man? Sometimes us as fight fans, we don't know what the hell we be talking about.
True.
Listen, there's a lot of noise in the background, man. If you got it, please, there's a lot of noise in the background. Whoever it is, I'm going to have to remove you from the chat if it's going to be too much noise in the background. But anyways, let me stop talking. Dennis, you said what you had to say. God's boxing. Go ahead, fam.
Yeah, I'm from the UK, yeah. You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Yeah, I'm from the UK. And my perspective upon these things is like, I don't you see the things that you have been saying. I don't believe. I believe the fighters are the ones that are the bosses. They're the ones. They're the ones that, because, like, you know, back in the 90s, it used to be different. The way you were explaining it was just exact the same way how the 90s was, but now things have changed. So that's what I'm seeing, like, from interviews that I've been seeing to IFL to Boxing Social to, you know, I've been studying all of these interviews, and that's what I've been seeing. Like, things have changed, so I'm not really too, you know. But you know, and another thing about I'm touching on what you call it, on John Fury, about how you said that how this is like your first time seeing him this honest about his son. The last time he was acting, well, the last time he was acting the way he like this was a time when he admitted that Fury lost against is it what's his name? Mac Denman, whatever his name.
Talking about McDermott.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That was his last time. He right after the fight, he went to him. He went to him and told him that, okay, he won the fight. You got robbed, and, you know, so on and so forth. Yeah, so that was his last time being dishonest, innit, about his son.
Yeah, I wasn't up on John Fury at that time when Tyson Fury fought McDermott, to be honest with you. But I did see that fight. So if he did say that, then yes, you know, he was very honest. You know what I mean, as it relates to this. Yeah, you make a valid point, brother. You do make a valid point. You know what I mean? But yeah, but what I was saying was back in the 80s and 90s, you know, you had fighters who, when fighters wanted to fight each other, the promoters was willing to work with each other to make fights happen. Don King and Bob Arum hated each other's guts. But guess what? They put their personal feelings aside and they came together in order to make fights happen. Today, you don't have that anymore. You have one promoter in Eddie Hearn that's willing to work with anybody, but then you have other promoters, I don't like Eddie Hearn. I don't like him. So, you know, because they don't like this guy personally, that they're not willing to do business with him. This is the difference between back in the day and now. Back in the day, where you had Bob Arum and Don King put on some of the biggest fights in the history of the sport of boxing. So for all you new guys who haven't watched boxing before and just started watching boxing in the Floyd Mayweather area about 5 years ago or 6 years ago, you don't know this. This is the norm to casual fans. But me being 47 years old, being watching boxing since I was like 6, 7 years old, I understand that you had people who didn't like each other personally. Promoters, Don King, you had Lou DiBella, you know, you had a bunch of them. You had Kathy Duva, well, her husband, I forgot her husband name, Duvas, who died. He died and passed away, and Kathy Duva took over. You had promotional companies back then that hated each other's guts because it was all competition. When there's competition, you're gonna hate each other, right? But they put their personal feelings aside in order to do the best, for business purposes, in order to make the best fights, to put on the best fights that they can possibly have. This is why we end up getting the Oscar De La Hoya versus Tito Trinidad. This is why we end up getting Pernell Whitaker versus Julio Cesar Chavez. This is why we end up getting Hearns versus Hagler and Hagler versus Sugar Ray Leonard and stuff like that. Mike Tyson versus the Lennox Lewises and the Holyfields. And we end up getting stuff like this because these promoters, even though they hated each other, they was willing to work together. Today, in 2021, in the new era with the Al Heyman era and the Bob Arum era and stuff like that, the new Bob Arum era, you won't see those fights. It's not happening. It's just like what you said. It's a whole new ball game now. Whole new ball game. But anyways, Terminator, go ahead and speak, fam.
So okay.
Hold on. All right, go ahead.
So do you think that, you know, obviously Tyson Fury, he knew that he had the Trilogy versus Deontay. So don't you think he hyped the Joshua fight up so Deontay can do what he did, step in and ruin the fight, so ages fans can tune in to see how the Trilogy goes?
No, I mean, I did think that. I did think that, to be honest with you. I did think that. But what I come to realize is everything is revolved around one thing: Bob Arum. Bob Arum was saying the entire time that the arbitration will not stop Tyson Fury for being able to go forward and fight Anthony Joshua for undisputed. This is the only thing that makes sense. You know what? Want to know why? Because why in the hell would a young promoter is Eddie Hearn, 41 years old, going on 42 years old, why in the hell would he be flying all over the world to make a fight happen? And if you watch the IFL interview that the Seconds Out interview that Eddie Hearn gave today, why in the hell would this man risk his life? Because, you know, anytime you jump on a plane, it can crash anything, right? So why would he go all over the world to try to make a fight happen, knowing damn well that this arbitration is going to stop that fight from happening anyways? It doesn't make sense. You see what I'm saying? He said one thing. He said that I believe what Bob Arum told me. Bob Arum specifically told me that, hey, listen, irregardless of what happened with the arbitration, Deontay Wilder only wanted a financial settlement. Now, this has been consistent with what we've been hearing. And he said that, listen, man, the arbitration ain't going to stop it. I even had people in this chat who are diehard Tyson Fury fans tell me this, only to find out that that was a lie, that wasn't true. The arbitrator ruled that no, you have to fight Wilder. Now, the crazy part about it is this. In December, according to the arbitration report, Bob Arum had a chance to terminate that contract. There was a clause in it where he had opportunity to terminate the contract, and he didn't do it. So that means he dropped the ball. Maybe he's too old. Maybe he's senile. Whatever it may be, Bob Arum, it all points back to Bob Arum. So if Tyson Fury believed a lying promoter, it's ironic because Tyson Fury lies all the time himself. So the liar believed another liar who's better than 10 lies than he is, and the liar fooled his fighter. The liar fooled Eddie Hearn. The liar fooled whoever he fooled, only to turn around and find out that, hey, listen, this guy was lying. It all points back to Bob Arum. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me like, yeah, we're going to act like we want to fight AJ in order to promote the Fury, the Fury and the Wilder fight. And listen, Fury had the opportunity to make 4 times as much money fighting Anthony Joshua that he's going to make fighting Deontay Wilder. Whether you believe Fury will destroy Anthony Joshua, or you believe Anthony Joshua will destroy Fury, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but if I got an opportunity, a fight is a fight. A boxing match is a boxing match. If I got an opportunity to fight a guy and make 4 times as much money over here, or I can fight a guy who I'm going to make less in this fight than I made in the second fight fighting him, who in the hell I'm going to fight? I'm going to pick the guy who I'm going to make more money on. But guess what? He can't do nothing. Bob Arum. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I believe. That's what I believe, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? And I'm not capping for Tyson Fury because, I'm not, how I feel about Tyson Fury. I'm not capping for him, but hey, man, Bob Arum is the snake of all snakes. He's an old snake, and he still got fangs, and he's very venomous. So it is what it is. Carmen Swing, what you say, sis? I honestly think John Fury is just doing damage control for Fury's image. I refuse to believe Tyson was completely clueless. Carmen, you hit the nail right on the head. Tyson Fury was not clueless. He probably knew what was going on, especially as the months went by, because he kept saying, "Don't be surprised if I be fighting Wilder next." This is why he was saying it. Fury has been saying this since February. Don't be surprised if you see me fight Wilder next. So no, you're right about that, Karma. You're right about that. Fury knew, and they probably told him, "Listen, man, there's a good chance that arbitration gonna go left." This is why Fury was saying that. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So, but I'm not absolving Tyson Fury at all. All I'm saying is, Frank, Eddie Hearn's biggest fault. This was Eddie Hearn's mistake. He trusted Bob Arum. You can never, any second, any minute, any hour, any day, any week, any month, any year, trust or believe anything Bob Arum says. Period. That's where he messed up at. But I'm not banging on Eddie Hearn. All he tried to do was make the biggest fight. It is possible. How can you fault a promoter for trying to make the biggest fight? It is possible, and trying to deliver an undisputed match for his client. He tried to do that. He can't do it because of Bob Arum. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is at this point. I'm gonna let God's plan back in. Go ahead, man. Carl Fury, you got anything else you want to say?
My question is why? Like, why did he? What's it called? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you well. I'm just listening.
Yeah. My question is, why did Bob Arum do all of this?
We would have to ask Bob Arum. That's the answer.
Oh.
We would have to ask Bob Arum. I can't speak for the dude.
No, I know, but man, like logically, why?
I don't know. There's no logic to it. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't make sense. Why would Bob Arum talk bad about his fighter, Terence Crawford? Why would Bob Arum talk bad about Oscar De La Hoya, who was his fighter? Why would Bob Arum talk bad about Floyd Mayweather when he had him and didn't allow him to fight certain fights? Why would Bob Arum talk bad about Mikey Garcia, and then when Mikey Garcia tried to leave Bob Arum took him to court, and he got put on the shelf for 2 years until he got out of that contract, and he had to pay Bob Arum some money eventually after sitting on the shelf for 2 years. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know.
So he's really a snake, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Bob Arum is the oldest. He's the oldest rattlesnake. He's a rattlesnake. He's 90 years old.
A venomous one too.
90 years old, worth $300 million or something like that. So he don't. Yeah, 90. Yes.
See, Bob Arum reserved the Allegiant Stadium. Reports just came out. He reserved it for a fight in July 24th. I feel like he knew, so he's a snake, man. Yeah,
of course he knew. I mean, the cat is out the bag at this point. Of course he knew. Bob Arum knew what was going on the whole time. Again, everything points back to one person, Bob Arum. And this is my whole point. So, no one is ducking anyone or anything like that. It's Bob Arum. Bob Arum is the center of all of this confusion, basically is what I'm saying. He is the center of all the confusion. So the topic of this show is this here. You know, if Fury loses to Wilder, you can kiss the he can kiss the AJ fight goodbye. You know what I mean? And if it's over for him as it relates to that. Not it's over for him from a boxing career. Yes, he can still fight other people, but he won't make nowhere near as much money as he will fighting Anthony Joshua. But that's going to be over for him. And if Wilder loses to Fury, it's going to be over for him because it's going to be 2 fights that he's lost to the same guy, right? The invincibility of Wilder is gone. They won't be able to say it was glove gate, water bottle gate, costume gate, twerk gate, referee gate. They won't be able to say none of that gate. You see what I'm saying? They won't be able to use those excuses or facts, if it's true, any of that stuff is true, which I haven't seen any evidence of anything of that. If it's true, they won't be able to use it as an excuse again. You see what I'm saying? So if Wilder loses, what is him and his fanboys going to say? And if Fury loses, then this will just vindicate Wilder and his fanboys. They'll say, yeah, you see, we told you, our king from Wakanda, he did it. He knocked them out, and we told y'all what was going to happen. You see what I'm saying? Because he cheated. But we won't see Undisputed because we're gonna go through the same thing you're gonna go through with Bob Arum, you're gonna go through it with Al Haymon. How do we know? We seen it happen 2-3 years ago when Joshua tried to make the fight with Wilder, and Wilder, Buck, whatever the case may be, his handlers, Shelly Bullwinkle, was playing hardball, playing hard to get. No, we ain't gonna make the fight happen. We don't like Anthony. Eddie Hearn, we don't want to do this and do that. And then when they met with the president of the zone, what happened? The president of the zone offered this guy a 3-fight deal worth $120 million just to have 3 fights on the zone. And his handler said, nah, that's all right. We're going to go away and we're going to bet on ourselves. He fought Ortiz, and then he ended up fighting Fury again, and we've seen how that happened. So, whether you're dealing with Al Haymon or whether you're dealing with Bob Arum, you're going to get the same goddamn thing. So Joshua's coming to the realization that him being undisputed, that it may not happen. He may not get an opportunity to fight to be undisputed. We don't know if he would win. We don't know that. We just want to see the fight as fans. But he won't get an opportunity to even get in the ring with anybody who has a WBC strap from that side of the fence, whether it's top rank or whether it's PBC. So what's the purpose of him holding his belts in the first place? They're useless to him at this point. If he dropped the belts, he's still gonna make more money than anybody in the sport of boxing in the heavyweight division anyway. In the heavyweight division, anyways. So what's the point? That's the and I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. Eddie Hearn addressed this today in the Seconds Out interview, and I'm gonna cover that as well. So is there anything else that anybody want to say? When I'm fixing to cook. Anybody on the panel?
Yeah, I have something I have to say. So in short, Wilder is gonna give a guy who he slandered with that video that he put out last October, starting in November. He put out a video about the dent in his skull, about the costume gate, the glove gate. So he's gonna give that guy 60% of the pot for a guy he cheated. That's one thing that I don't understand.
Well, those was the terms in the contract for the rematch, because what they had in the rematch, my brother, was this, that whoever wins the second fight, if they have a third fight, which they did sign up for a third fight, the winner would get 60% and the loser would get 40%. So Wilder is bound by the terms of the contract, and Fury is bound by the terms of the contract, i.e., this is why the arbitrator probably ruled in Wilder's favor. He said, listen, man, you had the opportunity to terminate this contract back in December, Bob Arum, and you didn't terminate the contract. So since you had the opportunity to terminate the contract back in December, according to the arbitration report, now we're going to go ahead and rule in Wilder's favor, and I'm going to order that you guys have to work something out between now and September and put a fight together. Bob Arum already had a venue set up, had a site secured for July 24th in Las Vegas. He already had that site secured already. So that lets you know that he knew. And remember, Bob Arum and the arbitrator were friends. Bob Arum and the arbitrator are really good friends, old friends. So he knew already. He had a heads up already what was going on. He was just stringing Eddie Hearn along. You know what I mean? And that's all it was. So, hey, man, it is what it is. But CJ said rematch clause in the new contract expected a fourth fight. They both playing with AJ, and then Hearn is all game. Think about it. Yeah.
But coach, I have a question, coach. Right.
Go ahead.
So what is then reports also? I was following this story closely, and then they said the reports. Bob Arum stated that the contract expired like last year. He said the contract expired and Tyson Fury is free to go. Was it like a marketing strategy to make like the undisputed fight, or I don't understand, because this Bob Arum said the contract expired. Now the contract is still valid. It's arbitration, but the contract still expired for a third fight. I don't get it. I mean, make it make sense.
No, Bob Arum lied. This guy right here said, well, what you say, the owners of the zone came out and said they apologize for the cricket deal. Google it. Dude, Carl Painter, you need to stop. You as the LDBC fanboy, we don't want you over here. You need to kick rocks, sir. You see what I'm saying? I don't give a damn about you. I don't give a damn about what you represent. You need to go before your ass get blocked. Bye, Felicia. I ain't playing with these fools today. Not me. Got the wrong guy. Shout out to my main man, Blood Boxing.
Did Wilder drop?
Hold on. Bring the Ali Bell from my main man, Blood Boxing, man. Shout out to my brother, Blood Boxing. Please go to his channel. Subscribe to his channel. Really good guy. Go ahead. What you were saying? Tell me later.
Did Wilder drop his head coach, Mark Breland?
Yeah, he got rid of Mark Breland a while ago. Now he has Malik Scott as his head coach.
Do you think, although they say you can't teach old dogs new tricks, do you think Deontay has that ability?
No, I don't. But anything can happen in the sport of boxing. He has that right hand. If he laying that right hand in the right spot, there's no guarantee that Deontay Wilder, the Tyson Fury, will be able to get up from that punch. But all I know is this here: if Wilder get his ass beat again in the third fight, in this fight right here, what are the Wilder supporters going to say? Like Captain America, the LDBC, the truth. No, sir, they lie to me. And you probably need to go over there to the LDBC channel, sir. This is not the channel for you. We are not in this channel here. No, I'm not an LDBC fanboy. I don't support the LDBC fans. If you are a supporter of the LDBC, you need to take your ass back over there. I don't give a damn about you, and I mean that. And if I hurt your feelings, and if I hurt,
see the truth.
Hold on, listen, hear me out. If I hurt your feelings in any way, form, or fashion, if you are with the LDBC or represent the LDBC, I will not apologize. Bye, Felicia.
Coach, I got a question right here, man. So Deontay Wilder got rid of his coach Mark Breland, right? His trainer Mark Breland, right? Then he brought in Malik Scott, a guy who he staged a fight with, and Malik Scott is taking him through the padding walks. You see the videos that I saw those videos making rounds in Fight Hype. And tell me, Coach, from a boxing perspective, do you think that padding work is impressive, and can you say that it's gonna make him have an edge in the third trilogy fight with Tyson Fury?
No, it's not. I mean, the pad work, to answer your first part of the question, the pad work is impressive to someone who is a diehard Wilder fan. To me, it's not impressive. Pads don't hit back. He's learning the basics. He's learning stuff that I learned in the amateurs when I boxed when I was an amateur back when I was a teenager. He's learning just simple head movement, how to slip punches. You know what I mean? Go to the body when the right hook swinging, you go up under it, and he looks very robotic. This is a guy who hasn't done any of this his entire career. He hasn't done anything that you're seeing on the pad work his entire career. And now all of a sudden you're going to teach an old dog new tricks. He's going to transform and become this entirely new boxer. Something that he hasn't done since he's been boxing for the past 13 or 14 years. Or however long it's been. So it looks good on the pass, but I want to see how he look in sparring. Sparring will tell me everything I need to know, and especially if he has a sparring partner that's pushing him. Yeah. That'll tell me what I need to see. He's not going to outbox Tyson Fury, but he can win in the decision because you got judges. The judges, we don't know what the judges are going to say if it goes 12 rounds. You see what I'm saying? So who knows how that's going to play out? But to me, I won't know if Wilder is a new fighter until we see him July 24th. All I'm saying is this. He hasn't done this his entire career. He always depended on his right hand his entire career. He's never been a boxer his entire career. Now all of a sudden, this one fight, he's going to be Sugar Ray Robinson. He's going to be Muhammad Ali. He's going to be this new fighter who knows how to box and know how to box on the back foot. I still haven't seen can he fight off the back foot yet. That's been his problem. Can he fight off the back foot? Now I do believe that Wilder will be better in this third fight than he was in the second fight. I do believe that. Now, will that play a part? Will that help him defeat Tyson Fury? We have no idea. But we'll find out July 24th. But me, I'm not getting the Holy Ghost, dancing, doing the electric slide because I see a guy hit some damn pads. As a matter of fact, I seen better pad work from Floyd Mayweather. I seen better pad work from Tank Davis. I seen better pad work from Crawford, Errol Spence. I seen better pad work from all of those guys. So if I'm going to go by how I do look doing the pads, that's that. I've seen better. So I can't say, oh wow, look how good he hit the pads. Boy, whoever he fight gonna be in trouble. Man, I had a cousin. I'm not gonna say his name. His nickname Shine. My cousin Shine was the undisputed heavyweight cruiserweight champion of the world when it come to hitting hand mitts. Nobody hit the pads better than my cousin Shine. He was the best when it came to hitting pads. When he stepped his ass in the ring and sparring, you saw something totally different. So so when I see him fight, you know what I mean? We'll know. Now, I will say this. Pad work is all about working on your reflexes. So it can help him react and work on his reflexes. I'm not saying that pad work is not good. All I'm saying is we won't know how good he is until he steps in the ring and fights Tyson Fury. Everything that Deontay Wilder is just learning at 35 years old, Fury already know how to do this. Fury can fight on the front foot. He can fight on the back foot. He know how to roll with punches. He know how to fight on the outside. He knows how to fight on the inside. He knows how to fight mid-range. Wilder has been a one-dimensional fighter his entire career. Now, that one dimension may be enough. Shout out to my main man, Punch. Shout out to my main man, Punch Drunk Boxing. Punch Drunk Boxing say, we're going to ring the Ali bell for my main man, Punch. Shout out to my main man, Punch. What up, brother? John Fury is pissed off his son. What you feel about that? Yeah, I was just talking about that earlier, Punch. Saying his son making a mistake fighting Wilder, saying he don't trust the Americans. Yeah, Punch, you know the sport of boxing, how it is, fam. Especially now that we found out that Wilder, Bob Arum had an opportunity to terminate that contract back in December. As you know, Punch, you've been watching boxing a long time. Anything can happen in the sport of boxing. John Fury is always pessimistic, especially when his son is fighting Deontay Wilder. He has always been pessimistic. He was pessimistic in the first fight. Now, the second fight, he was optimistic. He said his son was going to destroy Wilder, and his son did. But now, in his third fight, anything can happen. Wilder can land that one punch from Alabama, and it can be over. Or he may land it, Fury may eat it, and come right back at him. Who knows? You know what I mean? I just want to see Punch will Wilder be able to fight off the back foot, if you can, right? And as you relate to the judges, I mean, listen, you can't trust no judges. Punch, you know that. We seen what happened with the Jose Ramirez fight and Josh Taylor. The judges had a 114, 112. Don't get me wrong, Josh Taylor did give away some rounds, but there's no way in the hell that fight was no 114, 112, in my opinion. And but who knows, man? I understand that John Fury doesn't trust the Americans, Punch. You know what I mean? But at this point in time, it doesn't matter. What Fury's going to have to go in that ring and say, hey, man, it's against all odds. Balls to the wall. I got to fight smart. I have to fight intelligently, and I'm just going to have to do what I have to do in order to make sure I come away with the victory. You can't worry about the judges at this point because it's nothing you can do about it anyways. You see what I'm saying? So I totally understand his concern, Punch. But guess what? It's too late now. It's too late, my brother. You already know that, fam. It's too late. But anyway,
Wilder got demolished on the last fight. I don't know why he's this confident right now.
Well, I don't know how confident he is. I don't know how confident he is because Wilder hasn't said a word. We just been seeing videos put up from his trainer, and Wilder hasn't said a word. This is the guy who's been talking his whole career, but this time he's been humbled so much by Tyson Fury. Now he's not saying anything. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I can't say he's confident. I know if I see him in the press conference. And Wilder has always been confident in fights. You see what I'm saying? But it's something about an ass whooping that will humble you. You see what I'm saying? And so he's been humbled. Now, does it mean Fury's going to win the third fight? Anybody think that Fury's going to walk in the ring and destroy Deontay Wilder? You're sadly mistaken. And anybody think that Wilder's going to step in the ring and just destroy Tyson Fury? You're sadly mistaken. I'm going to tell you why I say that. We don't know what's going to happen. It's a possibility that Wilder could come in there and annihilate Fury. That is a possibility, but we don't know for sure if that's what's going to happen. Or it could be a possibility that Fury could be so overconfident that he thinks that he's just going to fight the same guy he fought in the second fight and he get knocked out. That's two. Or it could be that Wilder could be suffering so much psychological trauma from the ass woman that he took from the second fight that he may get beat again in the third fight. Now, Wilder said he had a crushed skull. He said his skull was crushed. What I want to know is this, since his skull was crushed, his fractured from Tyson Fury. So since Tyson Fury fractured his skull, I want to know, will he be able to, how will he respond if he gets hit in that same spot again? See, that's going to tell me a lot. How is he going to respond when he hit Fury with that right hand and that right hand don't knock Fury out? And Fury come right back at him and hit him on the left side of his face with that right hook. How is he going to respond? This is what I want to see, right? I can't make any predictions what's going to happen. I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm not Team Fury. I'm not Team Wilder. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not on either one of them side, to be honest with you. I'm just being honest with you. Because I'm not a fan of both of them, neither one of them. So, but me being a boxing connoisseur myself and me loving the sport of boxing, I want to see that fight. I think it's going to be a good fight. I think that, of course, we know the best man is going to win. We will see. We will see what happens. You know what I mean? But pad work, yeah, that's cool. That's cool, but I haven't seen him spar. We don't know how is he going to respond when he step in the ring with this 6'9", 275-pound giant that destroyed him in the second fight. How is he going to respond when he get hit again? That's what I want to see. So go ahead, man. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, Coach, I got a question. With the Wilder Fury 3 fight, let's say it's already been set and the pay-per-view, the pay-per-view for that fight is $79.99. Coach, would you pay for that fight?
What, Wilder Fury?
Yeah.
Yeah, I pay to see it. I pay to see it.
I don't know, man.
I pay to see that fight. I'm gonna tell you why, because I'm gonna cover the fight myself. I'm gonna cover it. I'm gonna cover to see the fight. You know what I mean? I support fighters. I love the sport of boxing. I support fighters. I support, even though I'm not a fan of Deontay Wilder, I used to be, and even though I'm not a fan of Tyson Fury, I used to be, but I am a fan of the sport of boxing. So I'm not taking it personal. I don't have any animosity or anything towards any one of those guys. I just want to see the fight. I'm gonna cover the fight, and may the best man win. You know what I mean? I'm not emotionally invested in either one of those guys like that. Because you know what I mean. So we're not getting the Joshua Fury fight. If Josh Taylor fight was on pay-per-view, I would have paid to see that fight. So I mean, it's all subjective. It's all subjective, fam. If you don't want to pay to see the fight, you don't have to. And there's nothing wrong with that, for whatever your personal reasons may be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Okay. So right now I just pay for the Zone, ESPN Plus. Then I'll be like, I have to pay another pay-per-view, man. Okay, so I'm from Nairobi, Kenya. I'm African, and the pay-per-view buys, if it's $79.99, that means it's about 8,500 shillings. That's the currency that I use. So yeah, man. So it's like 8,500 shillings. So it's a pretty steep price for that fight. I already seen it 2 times already.
Oh, absolutely, fam. Hey, shout out to Major Key Boxing. Shout out to Major Key Boxing, man. If you guys are not familiar with who Major Key Boxing is, he has a boxing show that comes on podcast that comes on every Monday at 9 o'clock or 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, because he's on the East Coast. He's in Florida like I am. Check him out, man. Please go to his channel and subscribe. Please holler at my main man on Blood Boxing. Go to his channel and subscribe. Please, and Retro Boxing and documentaries. Please go to his channel and subscribe. That's Blood Boxing. And please go to Punch Drunk Boxing. Punch Drunk has always supported me from the beginning. When I had like 100 followers, 100 subscribers, and now we at 3,200, going at 3,300 back in January. So, please support these guys. You know what I mean? These guys dedicate they're very passionate about the sport of boxing. you know, and you know, they take it very seriously, you know. So you know, we don't always get it right, but we're gonna be here banging it, getting it out, and we're gonna give you our honest, objective, unbiased opinion, you know, in the sport of boxing. So other than that, man, hey, listen, Carl Fury, you got anything you want to say, man, before we bounce?
Yeah. What do you think if Wilder wins? Like, if Wilder wins, like, what's next for him? Who's he gonna fight?
Yeah, he'll probably fight another PBC fighter. He'll probably fight Andy Ruiz.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
If he fights Bombs again, which he can't, he's not gonna get money again. Like, no one's gonna pay to see him fight the Bomb again.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You listen, it's been working for him. He's fought 40. He has 41 wins. I think he has 42 wins, 41 knockouts or something like that. And literally, I can't tell you who he's the name in a lot of these guys he's fought. So he could probably have a trilogy match with Ortiz again, pay him $200,000 or whatever. He can have another rematch with Dominique Brazil. Maybe he can fight Bermain Stavern again. You know, he's gonna, you know, PBC got a whole bunch of fighters. Even though Bermain Stavern is with Don King, but he got a whole bunch of fighters he can, you know, fight on the PBC side.
He can also fight his trainer Malik Scott again.
Yeah, he can fight Malik Scott again, who took a dive against him. I saw that fight actually 2 days ago. Malik Scott literally got hit on his right glove. He fell, hit the ground, laid there, had his right arm over the rope, act like he tried to get up, fell again. You see what I'm saying? You know, so it is what it is. Malik Scott, and I don't believe in Malik Scott as a trainer. How can you have a guy train you who took a dive against you when you fought? Like literally. How can you have a guy train you that took a dive against you when you fought? So I don't know. I hope everything works out for the brother, though. It is what it is. Other than that, man, listen, man, I'm gonna go ahead and cook a little bit more, man, to get started. Hey, I want to send a shout out to my main man, Dennis TV, for rocking with the old boy. You know what I mean? Send a shout out to Carl Fury. We're gonna ring the Ali bell for him. And let me go ahead and get back into the show. So now, let's go ahead and look at what Eddie Hearn was talking about. Now, Eddie Hearn, I wrote some notes down, guys. I wrote some notes down because I really want to cover this here. You see what I'm saying? So now, Eddie Hearn said this, and I want to look at this very well. As I said before, if Fury loses to Wilder, right? This is the topic of the show. If Fury loses to Wilder, it's over for him. What I mean by it's over for him, he won't get that Anthony Joshua fight for undisputed, right? And I'm gonna cover some things, so I want you guys to follow me. And if Wilder loses to Fury, it's over for him. I'm gonna tell you why it's over for him. Because his fanboys and his fans and his fanboys, I'm not gonna say his fans, you know, because I'll just say his fanboys, his rabid fanboys are so delusional, right? Because they put all this stuff out there about, you know, with Fury did this, Fury did that. Now we hear that, you know, Wilder had COVID, Fury paid off the Nevada Athletic Commission, Fury paid off JD's, Fury paid off Mark Brealey, Fury paid off Kenny Bayless, Fury paid off the WBC, Mauricio Suleiman. Fury paid off all of these people that allowed him to cheat, right? So now, if Fury wins again, what are they going to say? I know what they're going to say. They're going to say Fury is still a cheater and he found a new and improved way to cheat. So this is what they're going to say, right? They're never going to give the guy his props if he wins again, right? So we do know this. So now, if Wilder wins, then this will vindicate the Alphabet Boy community and vindicate their supporters and vindicate the fanboys in saying that, yes, we told you the only reason why Fury was able to win was because he cheated. Our king came back from Wakanda and he knocked them out and he won, and we told you this here. Either way it go, we're not gonna get undisputed. And then Wilder and then Anthony Joshua is thinking about dropping the belts. If you haven't heard, I'm gonna break it down to you right now. Joshua's thinking about dropping the belts. Why? Because he's sick and tired of the sanctioning bodies trying to order him around and boss him around and tell him what to do and when he's supposed to fight and stuff like that, right? This is why Floyd Mayweather used to always do what? When he win belts, what he used to do? He used to drop them. He used to drop the belt. The sanctioning bodies and they telling Anthony Joshua, oh no, you got 10 days to make this happen or else. No, you know what? I'm the cash cow of the sport of boxing. I'm no, not the sport of boxing. I'm the cash cow of the heavyweight division. I'm paying you sanctioning fees by keeping this belt. If someone like a Luis Ortiz was to get the WBO strap, you know, then what? So I tell you what, bye Felicia, you can have this belt. WBA, you can have your belt. Because you don't need belts in order to make money, especially when you're already on that level, right? Joshua's never going to fight Wilder or Fury for undisputed. Those fights are never going to happen. They're never going to happen. So the only reason why Wilder has the 3 belts that he has, I'm not even counting the IBO, but the reason why he has the 3 major belts that he has, because he has hopes of maybe fighting one of the guys to see who's going to be undisputed. The only problem is when you're dealing with Uncle Al and you're dealing with Bob Arum, that ain't gonna happen. Because when you have 2 snakes in the barrel, so to speak, Al Heyman and Bob Arum, and Bob Arum is the king cobra. When you're dealing with guys like that, they these are very powerful men in the sport of boxing, and they dictate who do what, when it happens, and all of that stuff there as it relates to their fighters. So if Al Heyman don't like Eddie Hearn, and if Bob Arum don't like Eddie Hearn, they're not going to work with him anyways. They don't like him. They let their personal feelings or business get in the way of doing what's best for their fighter. So it is what it is. So there's no point in Joshua dropping the belts. Don't be surprised if you see Joshua drop one of those belts. You know what I mean? So don't be surprised if you see that. But anyways, let me go ahead and get back to it. Guitar said Wilder needs to mix up punches to create an element of surprise, because skipping in with a cocked right hand won't work. Yeah, that's what he should do. See, Paul CA say Malik is training him as a confidence boost. In my opinion, he's training him at home. Yeah, absolutely. That's what it is. Robert Brown says you're wrong, my brother. If they lost, they're not done. Right? Yeah, I'm not saying they're done from a boxing standpoint. They will still be able to box. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's over from them as it relate to fighting for the undisputed and stuff like that. That's over for them. Because if Anthony Joshua dropped the belt, it ain't gonna be no undisputed anyway. You see what I'm saying? And if Al Heyman don't allow it to happen, or Bob Arum don't allow it to happen, it's not gonna be undisputed anyways. So I'm not saying that their boxing careers is over. Of course, Wilder can fight Bermane Stiverne again, a trilogy match. He can fight Luis Ortiz again, trilogy match. Wilder can fight Andrew Ruiz. You know, he has a whole bunch of fighters that he can fight on the PBC. So it's not going to be over for him as it relates to that from a career standpoint. But is he going to make big money fight any of those guys? Hell to the no. Hell to the no, as Bishop Bullwinkle say. That's Bishop Bullwinkle. R.I.P. to Bishop Bull. Let's hit the Ali bell for Bishop Bullwinkle. Bishop Bullwinkle, if you guys don't know who that is, he's from Florida, so don't worry about it. But anyways, yeah, so we ain't gonna see that. I'm not here to blow smoke up anybody's, you know what. I'm gonna call it the way I see it, man. The way I see it, it is what it is. Right now, we have a fight going on between between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. May the best man win. To me, that's a pick 'em fight. I don't know who's going to win. I can make an argument for how both men can win the fight. Wilder, of course, he just got to land the right hand and make sure that right hand hits him to the point to where he don't get back up. That's his only way he's going to win the fight. I don't think that he's going to. I don't think he's going to become a new fighter in one training camp with Malik Scott. I just don't believe it. Especially when you've been fighting the same way your entire career. You see what I'm saying? I don't see it. So now let's go ahead and do this. So I'm gonna say this here, right? So Eddie Hearn. So I'm listening. I took some notes from the Eddie Hearn, right? Took some notes from Eddie Hearn with the interview he did with Seconds Out, right? So what we learned from that interview was this. Eddie Hearn said that according to the arbitration report, right? Top Rank could have terminated the contract in December. They could have terminated that contract in December 2020. Bob Arum didn't. He didn't do it, right? So And then too, Fury could have fought Wilder back in 2020, somewhere like November, December 2020. They could have fought. But we know Fury said that he would never fight Wilder again because Wilder disrespected the Gypsy people. They could have fought. So contract could have been terminated in December. Fury could have fought Wilder in 2020, right? Why they didn't fight, I don't know. It is what it is. I'm just stating the facts as I know as of right now. So we do know that. So now, Wilder fans said that he had a fractured skull. Wilder said he had a fractured skull. What I want to know about the fractured skull is this, and I'm going to get somewhere with this. If Wilder had a fractured skull, what would happen if when he gets back in the ring with Tyson Fury and Tyson Fury hits him on the side of the head where his skull was fractured at? What would happen? That's what I want to know. That. Now, too, Eddie Hearn said in the interview as well, he said this on Boxing Social. I was wrong. He said it on Boxing Social. He said that he doesn't believe anyone anymore when it comes to Bob Arum, and more than likely Al Heyman as well. But that's related to Bob Arum. He said he doesn't believe anyone anymore. He said that he spent the last 5 months of his life trying to make the biggest fight in boxing, only to find out that Bob Arum was lying to him the entire time. I will leave a link in the description below. This is what Eddie Hearn said on the Boxing Social podcast today, right? This is what he said today. You see what I'm saying? I want to repeat this. Eddie Hearn said in the interview on Boxing Social that he doesn't believe anyone anymore as it relates to Team Fury dealing with Bob Arum. He said that he spent the last 5 months of his life trying to make the biggest fight in boxing, only to find out that Bob Arum was lying to him all along. And this is what gets me. Yes, Jason, I did hear that. Did you hear John Fury say he told Tyson Fury to drop the WBC and fight AJ instead of Wilder after the arbitration ruling came out? Yes, I did hear that. He did say that in the interview. He did say that. Now, when you're dealing with Anthony, when you're dealing with Bob Arum, you can't believe anything he says anyways. He consistently stopped his fighters from getting big fights, i.e. Terence Crawford. So this is what he does. So it is what it is, right? So he can't do business with Bob Arum. Now, he could probably do business with Bob Arum for some smaller fights or whatever the case may be, but as it relates to Anthony Joshua, no. Remember, guys, the only reason Anthony Joshua was keeping those 3 belts, been fighting for him, because he has hopes of one day boxing someone to become the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Now, just because he get in the ring doesn't mean he's going to win. But if he has all 3 belts and you have 1 belt, if I fight the guy who has 1 belt, at least I have an opportunity to become undisputed. But it's not going to happen. Irregardless of who has the belt, it's not going to happen. Because as long as Fury is with Bob Arum and you can't trust this guy, that ain't going to happen. Especially if Bob Arum was lying to his client, Tyson Fury. But if he didn't lie to him and Tyson Fury knew all along, then it is what it is. You see what I'm saying? Halim said, hey, AJ got screwed up by Bob Arum. Oh, yeah. I mean, AJ and I would probably say Tyson Fury as well. You see, I would say that. I would say that too. What I would say is this here. Sometimes you got to accept the things in life that you cannot change. You have to accept the things in life that you cannot change, right? So, Fury, there's nothing AJ can do about who has the WBC belt, right? Eddie Hearn did the best he could. Whether you like Eddie Hearn or hate Eddie Hearn, you have to admit that he did the best he could. Now, if you have an ulterior motive and you don't like Eddie Hearn, then you're going to say, oh, man, he ain't did nothing. He's the reason why the fight didn't happen, and I don't like him, and I don't like AJ, this bomb squad. Or if you don't like Eddie Hearn, well, oh, man, he ain't do nothing, yada, 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 blah, blah, squad, you know, he ain't deliver the fight. I don't like Eddie Hearn, I don't like AJ. This Tyson Fury, this team Tyson Fury. Regardless of what side of the fence that you lay on, you have to admit that he did give it his best shot. Period. Smith and West said first off, if Wilder's skull was already fractured, he couldn't pass the physical, and he wouldn't be able to get a boxing license. Smith and West, I understand that, brother, but apparently, you know, to some of the people who are slow out there, my brother, shout out to my main man Smith and West. Let's ring the Ali bell. Ring the Ali bell for Smith and West. Yes, sir, brother. Smith and West, for a lot of the people who are out there who are very slow, who support these Alphabet Boy channels, who support and who was fanatics, who are fanboys of Wilder. I'm not talking about Deontay Wilder fans. Deontay Wilder has very few fans, but he has a whole lot of fanboys. And I'm explaining, and I told you guys what a fanboy is. A fanboy is someone who has an obsession with an individual. They are so obsessed with this individual, and they use circular logic for their arguments. I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean by that. People will say this. People will say, "Oh man, this particular fighter, why he won't leave this promoter? He's under while acknowledging that this fighter is under contract with this promoter, while acknowledging that if this fighter was to try to leave this promoter can sue this fighter for damages and put him on the shelf and ruin his career for a year, 2 years, 3 years, or however long, i.e. what happened to Mikey Garcia when he left Top Rank. They will acknowledge that. They will turn around and say, yeah, man, you know what, man? Bob Arum is a snake, and he ain't this and he ain't that, and he ain't getting the big fights for his fighters. They will acknowledge that, then turn right around and say it's the fighter's fault why he can't get the big fights. And then they'll say, well, my guy over here is getting big fights. While acknowledging that the reason why this guy's not getting big fights is because of the promoter. So anything that supports their claim, they'll take it around with it. Anything that they see that challenges their claim or show that they are wrong, they'll just brush it off and go right back to use the circular logic to try to prove their point to make themselves feel good. This is a fanboy. This is the definition of a fanboy. Slow as all outdoors. And you guys know I don't like fanboys. I don't want fanboys on my channel. I want to attract a certain element of boxing fans. I'm not desperate for subscribers. I'm not desperate for super chats. I have money. I'm good. I'm not desperate for subscribers. There's millions of people who love the sport of boxing. The subscriber count is going to go up. Period. So I'm not going to try to appease fanboys for the sake of getting subscribers. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do everything in my power to discourage a fanboy from subscribing to my channel and watching me. If you are a fanboy, I don't like you. If you are a supporter of the Alphabet Boy community, I don't rock with you. If I offend you with what I'm saying because you're a fanboy, good. And I'm dead ass serious about that. I'm dead. It's Gucci over here, baby. It's Gucci over here. It's Gucci over here. Don't need you. I don't. I want fans of the sport of boxing. I want fans of the sport of boxing. You see what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But other than that, now, as it relates to Eddie Hearn also said in this particular interview, he said that maybe he shouldn't have trust anyone from Tyson Fury's camp, whether it's Team Tyson Fury or Bob Arum. Has right about that. Maybe he shouldn't have trusted him. Maybe he shouldn't have trusted him. You see what I'm saying? So he realizes that he has made a mistake as it relates to that, right? You see what I'm saying? But Eddie Hearn also said this, guys, and I'm reading my notes. Eddie Hearn said that he would never trust them again, meaning Bob Arum or Team Fury. He said he'll never trust them again, and now Frank Warren. Hearn also said that he doubts AJ will ever be undisputed. That the undisputed fight will happen, and that he's tired of the sanctioning bodies trying to debo them and tell them who they're going to fight, when they're going to fight, yada 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 yada. And he said Anthony Joshua is considering dropping his belts because at this point, Anthony Joshua doesn't need belts to make money. Floyd Mayweather did the same thing. That's what I admired about Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather did not let the WBC, WBA, or any of the sanctioning bodies dictate what he did and how he did it. He'll win a belt and give it up just like that. Here you go, you can have it. And he'll still do $100 million on pay-per-view buys. You see what I'm saying? He'll do $100 million pay-per-view buys. So if you want to follow what Floyd Mayweather did, Anthony Joshua, and I know that you and Floyd Mayweather are real good friends. I do know that. You should consider doing that. Floyd was never undisputed. But look at him. It didn't stop him from making big money because your name is the brand. Your name, you are a walking brand, Anthony Joshua. The belts don't define you. Yes, you have a personal goal of becoming undisputed one day, but sometimes, you know, we don't get what we want all the time. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. But right now, it'll probably happen it'll probably happen 2-3 years from now. Right now, you're still young. You're only 31 years old. You're still getting better as a fighter. Just move on. Just move on. Everyone is still going to try to fight Anthony Joshua. Why? Because he is the money fight. Joshua is the money fight. I don't care how you slice it. I don't care how you dice it. They're still going to try to fight him because he is the money fight. Whether he has a belt or not is irrelevant. He's the money fight. Bottom line. There's nobody in the heavyweight division that's a bigger star than Anthony Joshua. If it is, name one. There's no one in the heavyweight division that sold out 90,000. There's no one in the heavyweight division that has countries building stadiums for him to host their fights there. So he's the money fight. In every division, there's always a fighter that's the money fighter, i.e. Canelo Alvarez. Everyone in their right mind want to fight Canelo Alvarez. You want to know why? Because he's the money fight. Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, all of them wanted to fight who? Manny Pacquiao. You want to know why? Because he's the money fight. Errol Spence got that fight with Manny Pacquiao. He's the money fight. Period. So the belt don't define you. When they know that, oh man, he want to become undisputed. You see what I'm saying? So we're gonna use that against him. We're gonna use that against him. No, Eddie Hearn is not Lisa Bells. You're right. Eddie Hearn is not his manager. Eddie Hearn is not Anthony Joshua's manager. Anthony Joshua is his own manager. He has his own management company. Eddie Hearn is the promoter. But I think, Lisa, you're addressing this guy. Ricardo say a real manager should never try to make a fight between AJ and Fury when Wilder is in mediation. Yeah, brother. I would address that with you. But apparently you don't know what's going on. He don't know what's going on. You say real manager, I should never try to make a fight. Yeah, you don't know what's going on. Yeah, he just came on the show. If you came on the show earlier, you would know that the promoter, Eddie Hearns, went off of what Bob Arum told him. You would know that. So other than that, that's it. But I'm not going to go through a recap of this again. You know, I'm not going to go through recap it of this again. But anyways, so if Eddie Hearn will never trust Bob Arum again, and let's say Tyson Fury was to win this fight with Wilder, Tyson Fury is to defend his belt for the first time, and he retains the belt, WBC. They can't go back and negotiate in the business with that dude again. Why? Because Bob Arum is still there. And Anthony Joshua, what Eddie Hearn said in the same interview with Boxing Social, he said that Anthony Joshua was always skeptical that this fight was happening. And hold on, let me let you guys hear something too. Eddie Hearn shared something that was very interesting. He shared something that was very interesting, guys. That let's see, that Anthony Joshua told him, and I want to share this with you guys. Tell me whether you agree with it or not. Let me see. Do I have it? Here we go. Right here. Here we go. Right here.
You to fail. They expected you.
Oh, here you go. Here you go. Right here.
These people just wanted you to fail. They expected you to fail. They didn't think you could pull it off, but you did. And they were going to use you as a scapegoat. Basically, the whole thing was going to be Matcham couldn't deliver it, so we move on. But we did deliver it. Tyson Fury came out. He announced the fight. He spoke to Saudi Arabia. He was happy with the deal. We'd already signed an initial contract. You can see by the internet responses, to the videos, got to be quite thick if you don't realise the one team that was trying to make this fight and the one team that wasn't. EJ said to me, these people just wanted you to fail. They expected you to fail. They didn't think you could pull it off, but you did. And they were going to use you as a scapegoat. Basically, the whole thing was going to be Matcham couldn't deliver it, so we move on. but we did deliver it. Tyson Fury came out. He announced the fight. He spoke to Saudi Arabia. He was happy with the deal. We'd already signed an initial contract. You can see by the internet responses, to the videos, got to be quite thick if you don't realise the one team that was trying to make this fight and the one team that wasn't.
Yeah, so I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. When you have vindictive people like a Bob Arum and Frank Warren and everybody in the UK from who told me they know that, hey, man, listen, there's some kind of civil war that's been going on for years with Barry Hearn and Fish Eyes, and they don't like Eddie Hearn now that Eddie Hearn has taken the reins over from the promotional company for his father. They don't like that, yada, 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 yada. So if they are that vindictive, you can't do business with them. You see what I'm saying? You can't do business with them. Now I know you got a bunch of people who their team AJ, their team Wilder, their team Fury. And so when you are invested in individuals who don't know you, they don't know you at all. When you have that kind of investment in someone, you always going to side, your personal bias will always come in because you don't like this guy who you don't know. And so, you know what I mean? So other than that, that's it. Peter Varnock said, Eddie said that Aaron could have got rid of the contract back in February. How was that? He didn't say February, it was December. He didn't say February, it was December. How was that? I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. Chris Matthews say boxing has gotten so corny. Absolutely. Absolutely. It has gotten very corny. This is where it's at. Well, depending on what side of the fence you're on. You know what I mean? Because if you if you have a particular fighter that you like, and if that fighter is getting the fights, then boxing is lovely for you. You see what I'm saying? Depending on what side of the fence you're on. But overall, there are certain fights. Perfect example. You had Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez fighting for Undisputed. That fight was not promoted at all. Damn near everybody who I spoke with, I'm not talking about one person or two person. Two people may say, oh man, I saw the fight. They did promote it on ESPN. No, they didn't. And what I say by that, I'm saying promotions. I'm saying when you listen, this is how I know you just some guys who just started watching boxing, they never seen a real promotion for a fight that was coming up. Real promotion is when everybody in the country know about this fight happening. When Mike Tyson had a fight, that was a promotion. When Wilder, and even when Wilder and Fury was having a second fight, that was a promotion. You see what I'm saying? Josh Taylor and Jose Ramirez, they didn't get nowhere near that. Nowhere near that. You see what I'm saying? So this is what it is. This is what's going on. Fanboys, fans and fanboys, especially the fanboys, they don't know nothing about the sport of boxing. They don't understand the business aspect of it. They only know what the alphabet boys tell them. They probably don't know how to read. They probably don't know how to do research. You see what I'm saying? So they only know what the alphabet boys tell them. And it is what it is. It's sad, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? That's why I don't care nothing about fanboys. I don't. I do my best to run their ass off my channel. I do my best. But guess what? They tune in anyways, though. At 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, they're going to tune in. Because they're going to hate. They're going to say what they're going to say or whatever. I don't care. I'm not lonely for a conversation. We don't want fanboys over here. At New Media Today USA Boxing, we focus on one thing and one thing only. We focus on fans, people who love the sport of boxing. I don't give a damn about the PBC. I don't give a damn about Top Rank. I don't give a damn about Matchroom. I don't give a damn about Queensberry. I give a damn about the sport of boxing. That's all I care about. That's all I care about, homie. That's it. Fanboys care about this my fight. I love him. You see what I'm saying? I believe everything he say. I love him. This is what fanboys do. And no matter how much truth or facts you put in their face, if it doesn't register with what they already been programmed to believe, you're wasting your breath. That's why I don't like fanboys. I don't deal with it. I don't. I'm just being honest with you, right? Now, as it relate to Wilder and Fury, this is going to be a big fight here in the United States. the racial element is going to be there. Guys, let me show you guys something. I want to give a shout out to Kurt DeVille, Counterpunch Boxing, because he the one put me up on this. I watched this show. I am a member of I support channels. I give super chats to channels. I put my money where my mouth is. I give super chats to channels. I do these kind of things to other channels. And I've had channels give me super chats as well. Only a few, but I have some give me super chats as well. But I'm just saying, but I'm a part of a membership club with Kurt. Hold on, guys. I got to sneeze. Hey. Let me show you guys something. And I have to cover this. Let me show you how sick and far the fanboys, the Deontay Wilder fanboys have went. Do you guys know that the Deontay Wilder fanboys, i.e. Young Pharaoh, I'm very familiar who Young Pharaoh is. I don't know him personally, but I remember him from the conscious community, Sinetta TV and all that. And when I used to rock with that, when I was on that Marxist pro-black stuff. So I get it. I remember him from there. But they have a petition. I can't make this up. And I have the receipts. They have a petition right now to disqualify Tyson Fury for cheating in both fights. The first fight that he had against Deontay Wilder, which there was a draw, and the second fight in which Deontay Wilder lost to Tyson Fury. They have a petition to have the draw and the loss removed from Deontay Wilder's record, and they want him to be have a record of 44-0. And they want the boxing commission or whoever it is to remove the blemishes from Deontay Wilder's record. He lost one fight and he had one draw. They're saying that because of Tyson Fury cheated so much that they want to have Deontay Wilder's draw and Deontay Wilder's loss removed from the record books. And guess what, guys? Now, I know you guys think that I'm tripping. I know you guys think that I am lying. I'm making this up. Guess what? I got the receipts. Finna pull it up right now, guys. Fixing to put it up right now. And they're trying to get to 15,000, right? I'm finna put it up right now. I can't make this up. I'm not that good, as Paul Mooney would say. I'm not that good. So let me go ahead and take this off. I can't make this up. Literally, I can't make this up. Let's bring it over here. Let you guys see this. This petition says what? This petition was put together by Young Pharaoh. I, Young Pharaoh, have 125 slide PowerPoints proving that Tyson Fury cheated in both fights versus Deontay Wilder, as well as other times in his career as far back as 5 years ago. This has been acknowledged by professional boxers such as Errol Spence, Steve Cunningham, and as well as Charles Barton. Mainstream media is keeping quiet about this issue despite being asked by professional boxers above, by the professional boxers above to investigate, because my PowerPoint will show, I believe, bigger organizations and mainstream outlets conspired against Deontay Wilder with their motivation of being a racial bias, motivation being of racial bias, which is causing them to blatantly turn a blind eye to Tyson Fury breaking the rules of boxing. Let me go over here. I'm gonna finish reading. I'm gonna finish reading this here. Because a lot of you guys, you think I just be talking, right? I be capping, right? I'm not capping. Let me finish reading this here. I can't make this up. I'm not that good. R.I.P. to the great late Paul Mooney. Because that's what used to say that. I can't make this up. I'm not that good. Now let's keep it moving. What was I at? Please sign this petition. Let's bring it back. Please sign this petition and help us not only preserve the integrity of the sport of boxing, but ensure the safety of all fighters in combat sports, despite their ethnicity or racial background. That's strange. despite their ethnicity or racial background. That's very interesting. Combat sports are dangerous enough, and it should not be putting fighters' lives in danger beyond the contact that they signed. Tyson Fury punched Deontay Wilder, misspelled his name. Tyson Fury punched Deontay Wilder with his bare knuckles because his left hand was not fully in the glove in both of their fights. So he's saying his left hand was not fully in the glove in both fights, not only the first fight, but the second fight. And he punched Wilder illegally in the back of the head in their most recent fight over 30 times from the third to the sixth round. And the referee said nothing, even though the blows to the back of the head, because they can cause instant death to the victim by dislodging the brain from the brain stem. This is the problem, as Kurt would say. Let me counterpunch this. This is the problem with this. You're saying that Fury had his hand not all the way in the glove in both fights, right? And you said that's cheating. And you're saying that the boxing organizations conspired against Deontay Wilder. The only problem I have with that is this. Deontay Wilder's had 41 fights, 42 fights. Prior to fighting Tyson Fury, he's had, let's take those 2 fights away. Prior to fighting Tyson Fury, he had like 38, 39 fights. So the boxing organizations never conspired against Deontay Wilder in the 40-something fights that he's had. But this one fight with Tyson Fury, they decided we are going to come together and cheat Deontay Wilder. And we're going to come together and cheat Deontay Wilder and conspire against him. And he has no proof of this, right? This is crazy to me. This is crazy to me. Like, this is so childish. At this point, like, I have never seen, I was a fanboy of Mike Tyson, not Deontay Wilder. I was a fanboy of Mike Tyson, Pernell Whitaker, Marvin Hagler, and Roy Jones Jr. I have never in my life seen anything like this. What is it that Deontay Wilder has on these fanboys? Is it Alabama voodoo magic? I don't know. I've never seen anything like this before in my life. So let's continue reading. Let's continue reading. Now, this guy says this. Now, if you look at a lot of Wilder's fights, he punched people in the back of the head, i.e. Luis Ortiz. I got the receipts. So I'm not just going to talk about it. I can show it. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. This is interesting, though. So Young Pharaoh says, also, Tyson Fury has blood on his left hand wrap, which matches the blood on the wrist area of his left glove, to which his fist was not properly in the glove, which allowed him to hit with his bare knuckles outside of the padding. There is no way he could have had blood on his hand wraps if his hands was properly in the glove. Tyson Fury's left glove can be seen flopping around in both fights and bending backwards at a 90-degree angle, in which is literally impossible according to the anatomy, unless his wrist is broken in both fights. The glove is flapping because his fist is not completely in it, and instead, as the images I have I guess he's trying to say shown, he leaves his left glove unleashed. This brother has a lot of he's a very smart guy, but he has a lot of spelling errors in this. And you shouldn't have when you write, you shouldn't have everything clumped together because it makes it a very hard read. He should have this all the way broken down into paragraphs and sections, but I digress. The glove is flapping because it is not completely inside of it. Instead of the images I have he leaves, I guess he is showing or shown, he leaves his left glove unleashed properly so that it is loose and he can slip his fist in and out, allowing him to strike with his bare knuckle from an unpadded area of the glove. If we allow this to happen, if we allow this to happen, this endangers all fighters and will jeopardize the integrity of all combat sports, not just boxing. We must be led by virtue and integrity. Deontay Wilder has wrongly and has, I don't understand what he's saying. Deontay Wilder has his career stolen from him. Man, this brother has some serious spelling errors. Deontay Wilder has wrongfully has his career stolen from him. I guess he meant to say has wrongfully had his career stolen from him, and will no longer have the chance to make history, breaking the records he was on the verge of breaking if we allow this. This will impact his mental health and life as a human outside of the sport of boxing if we sit back and allow this heinous act, I guess he means to say, happen. Thank you, and much love, family. Are you kidding me? Dude, are you serious right now? This man said that Deontay Wilder has wrongfully had his career stolen from him, and he would no longer have the chance to make history, breaking the records he was on the verge of breaking if we allow this to happen. This will impact Deontay Wilder's mental health and life as a human being outside of the sport of boxing if we, as fanboys, sit back and allow this heinous act to happen. Thank you, and much love, family. Are you kidding me? This is what the alphabet boy community produces. And I like young Pharaoh. I like young Pharaoh. I really do. I like young Pharaoh. But this is ridiculous. Do you notice what he didn't say, guys? Do you notice what he didn't say? Karma Serene, sis, do you notice what he didn't say? His subject-verb agreement and tense is horrendous. Exactly. His subject-verb agreement is horrendous. Exactly it is. This is a 12-year-old that wrote this. I refuse to believe that young Pharaoh wrote this. I refuse to believe that. But that's neither here nor there. This guy right here, this is how they deflect. LOL, you an AJ fangirl, disappointed. See, this is how they deflect. Bye, Felicia. We holler at you. You see, these alphabet boys, they come over here. Their fanboys are slow. This dude right here, these alphabet boy fanboys are slow as hell. They love, now they want to come on my channel. You need to go back to the alphabet boy channel. This ain't the channel for you. Literally. I care nothing about you. I really don't. But anyways, notice what he didn't say. He didn't say Tyson Fury had egg weights in his glove. He didn't say Tyson Fury had paid Mark Breland to spike the water bottle. He didn't say that Deontay Wilder's costume wore his legs out. He said that Tyson Fury had both his hands sticking out of his glove. Notice he didn't say anything about Deontay Wilder had a fracture on the side of his skull. Look at this guy. This guy want attention. Coach, you like making money? LDBC strong. Well, you LDBC fanboys, y'all love me, huh? Look at this fool right here. You a clown. You should shut your channel down. I know you wish. These LDBC fanboys, Philip, bro, you look at your avatar. Scared to show their face. Look at this clown right here. Boy, these alphabet boy fanboys, they love coming over here. You the same dudes that probably be threatening me, talking about what you're gonna do when you see me, living in your mama's basement, literally. But you know what though? I'm glad you're here, so I get to cook y'all ass. Trey Machiavelli, you's a buster. Get out your mama's basement, son. That's what you need to do. I understand that you love the Twerkinator. I understand that your king got beat by by Tyson Fury. I get that. I understand that you probably didn't have your father in your life, and you know the Alphabet Boys is your new daddy on the internet. I get it. I get it. I understand that. I really do get it. But guess what? You're on the wrong channel, homie. You're on the wrong channel. I'm not shutting down anything. I'm gonna be here every day, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And guess what? You Alphabet Boys and your fanboys are gonna come over here and continue to watch me. You wanna know why? Because you love me. You love coming over here. You know what I mean? This ain't the channel for you. You love me. Y'all clowns. Send this back to your general. Send this back to everybody in your Alphabet Boy community. I care nothing. I don't want to see any harm come to any of those brothers. I respect their hustle. They got fools like they got fools like this dude right here, Henry Knoxville. They got fools like these guys that they can hustle and get money out of. And that's fine. Have no problem with that. Have no problem with that at all. They should be hustling you. They should be hustling you because you're slow and you're stupid. That's what you're there for, to be hustled. If you like being race baited and pushing false narratives, that's fine. But let's talk about this here, though. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. These fools have a petition to try to get Wilder's loss and draw removed because they saying that this dude got a PowerPoint to prove that Fury cheated. Listen, the Deontay Wilder fanboys in the Alphabet Boy channel, fanboys, these dudes are slow. These dudes are slow. They have an IQ of 12. They literally have the lowest IQ in the history of the sport of boxing. Literally. They are keyboard gangsters. They talk about what they're going to do. They're going to pull up. Well, you got to get out your mama's basement first. You got to get out your mama's basement. You're going to pull up. Pull up where? Get your car first. Get out your mama's basement first. I don't believe you when you say you're going to do A, B, C, and D. I care nothing about the bomb squad, bum, B-U-M. I care nothing about the Alphabet Boy supporters. I don't. Why are you here, sir? Why? Why are you here, sir? You ain't got nothing better to do, huh? You're bored in your mama's basement right now. This is a boxing community over here where we just focus on the sport of boxing. Literally. Y'all have a 7-8. Hold on. With the sleeve hit the nail right on the head. With the sleeve, what you say, fam? With the sleeve say 7-8 sports, 7-8 IQ Sports TV. Exactly. All these fake John Gottis talking about, yeah, what I'm going to do to you when I see you. I'm going to pull my pistol out and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Child to the please. Threatening people on the internet. Talking about what you're going to do. You can tell the ones who are going to do something because the ones who are going to do it don't talk about it. Now you got all these, now you got petitions to try to get the Twerkinator lost back. Deontay the Twerkinator Wilder. Your king who likes to twerk. Your king who likes to have babies, want to get pregnant from his wife. This is who you support. This is who you Alphabet Boy channels support. Literally. This is ridiculous. This is truly ridiculous. Shout out to my main man, Sly Tennessees. Literally. Anytime somebody criticize, I'm talking about this petition. And guess what? Let me show you how slow these people are. They got 13,366 people have signed this petition. All on from the Alphabet Boy channels. All of them. Look at them in the chat. Look at the slow twerkinator, the Twerk Nation army in here. You got one dude right here, he's slow. Got another dude right here, he's slow. Like all these slow, low IQ Alphabet Boy twerkinator supporters over here. Why are you here, sir? I understand that you follow the letter people. The letter people. I get it. Go back home and try to find who your dad is, man. Find out why your daddy left your mama. Maybe you can find a real father figure. I can't be your daddy, man. I know you're here because you want me to be your daddy. You're in your mama's basement and you coming on my channel. This is not the spot for you. You need to deal with the twerkinator. You need to deal with the twerkinator. What you gonna do about this petition? You got 13,366 bums who signed this petition because they are upset that Twerk Alicia, they're upset. As a matter of fact, you know what? Yeah, what you say, LDBC backup dancers? Absolutely, that's what they are. Absolutely. Literally. I love disrespecting you guys. You make my day. Literally. I could do this all day. But guess what though? I'm gonna wrap this up, but before I go, let me go ahead and do this here. I gotta do it to you. I gotta do it to you. I have to do it to you. Yes, sir, I have to. I have to. I'm going to do it. You Alphabet Boys in the chat, wait right here. I got something for you. Got something for you. Got something for you, sir. Y'all just wait right there. I know you're trying to find your dad and stuff. I get it. I get it. I get it. Just wait right there. I got something for you. I'm gonna pull up something for you. I got receipts. So the dude say, hey, don't go hating on Wilder fans. I'm a Wilder fan. Bye, Felicia. Bye. I don't need you over here. Let's do this. Let's do this. You're a king, since you're a Wilder fan, let's do this. Do you support your king from Alabama want to have babies, wanting to know what it feels like to be pregnant? The Mom Squad. Let's read this though. This is for you Alphabet Boy fanboys that's in my chat, and you Alphabet Boy supporters, and you Deontay Wilder fanboys. If you don't like what I'm saying, leave. Don't need you over here. But I'm finna bury you right now. I'm finna give you something to go home to. This is what your king, the twerkinator, said. I would love to experience what a woman goes through. Deontay Wilder admits that he would take the opportunity to get pregnant if it was possible. Right? If it was possible. Boxer Deontay Wilder has admitted that he would love to carry a child if scientists ever invent a procedure that will allow that to happen. Bruiser Wilder has knocked out 39 of his opponents during a glittering boxing career, but called women the most powerful thing on earth, and that he would love to experience pregnancy and childbirth. This is what your king said. This is what your king said. But you coming over here. Coming over here on my channel. So-called pulling up on me from your mama's basement. First, you got to get a car. And second, you got to get out your mama's basement. And third, you got to find out who your daddy is. Because Jabba the Hutt ain't your daddy. But let's continue. Let's continue. I'm not finished cooking, y'all. I'm not finished. Let's go back over here. Let's go back over here. Gotta get you. Gotta get you. Since you're over here, I'm gonna give you something to look at. And report this back to Jabba the Hutt. So anyways, they say Wilder 33 has 7 children. Let's see. Bruiser Wilder, he said he would love to see what it feels like to experience pregnancy in childbirth. Wilder 33, this was 2 years ago, has 7 children, including a daughter. Right? So let's keep going. Wilder calls himself a mother goose. And ahead of his huge fight with Tyson Fury on Saturday in Los Angeles, this was the first fight that they had, by the way. When Wilder puts his WBC heavyweight title on the line, the American is disappointed that the public do not see his softer side. So his softer side is twerking, and his softer side is wanting to have babies. This is what the Twerkinator said. Let me read this to you slow, alphabet boy, LDBC strong, slow clowns out there. Let me read this to you, you Twerkinator supporters, and you alphabet boy supporters. Let me read this to you. Hopefully, this will keep y'all off my channel, but you'll keep coming back because you love me. Don't dislike me, be like me. But let's go. So the softer side. He called himself a mother goose. This is what Wilder said. He gave this interview to the Telegraph. If they ever invent something that would allow a man to carry a child, I want to sign up for it. Wilder told the Telegraph. I really do. I would say to my girl, let's have a baby, baby. You see what I'm saying? I would love to experience what women go through to bring a child into this world. That's why women are the most powerful thing on earth, in his Alabama voice. When we've got people who bleed for 7 days every month, come on, man. But I really feel I'm the mother goose. I kiss my kids 6 and 7 times a day. They are all individuals and I love them. And that's beautiful. And then your king, the Twerkinator, continues. He said, I wish people, in my Alabama voice, I wish people could see this side of me more often. So he wants people to see the softer side of him wanting to have babies. A grown man wishing that he can get pregnant from another woman. My world is amazing, and I don't let certain things get to me, and I let people assume about me. Why? This is what you represent? Mother Goose, huh? Mother Goose. This is what you represent? Are you going to go to the baby shower when your king has a baby? That's what I want to know. Alphabet boys, who in this chat? You Wilder supporters. Dragon Lady, what you say, fam? Dragon Lady said 1-800. What did it say, fam? 1-800 to find the daddy? This is how slow y'all is. You want to sign a petition to get a loss removed from the Twerkinator's record. Do you support your king wanting to have babies? That's what I want to know. Oh, I'm not finished though. I ain't finished cooking, y'all. Not finished. Got something else for you. I'm not finished. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. I'm not finished with you. Take this back. Take this back. Take this back to your daddy, Jabba the Hutt. Y'all filing petitions and want to get people, you know what I mean? This is what you do. This is what you do, right? This is what you do. So we don't went down. So this is what you support. You mad at me because I won't support this. Imagine Muhammad Ali saying he want to have a baby. Imagine Mike Tyson saying this. Imagine Marvin Hagler saying this. Oh no. If you are a Wilder fanboy, I got you. If you are an Alphabet Boy fanboy, I got you. Y'all love watching me. I'm on 3 o'clock every day, Eastern Standard Time. Come on back for some more. So this dude say, Boxing Future say, Coach, all you do is talk about those two clowns. Boxing Futures. If you don't like it, sir, holler. I respect you, but if you don't like it, sir, you can holler. If my content if my content is not your taste, sir, this ain't the channel for you. With all due respect. With all due respect. See, when they come over here and poke the bear, this is what they get. This is what they get when they come over here and poke the bear. When they come over here and poke the bear, this is what they get. I'm not faking no moves over here. I'm not faking no moves over here. So this is entertaining to me. So anytime you go to tell me about what I'm doing over here on my channel, you can go watch Jabba the Hutt. You can go this for all you Twerkinator fanboys. You can go watch Jabba the Hutt. You can go do that. Oh, let's see. Hold on. I got it right here. I got some more receipts. This dude here say, what he say? I feel you, but your views are low. Brother, why you worried about my views? Focus on your channel, Boxing Future. Don't worry about me. I don't need you. Bye, Felicia. Done done. We gone. All right. Here we go. Let's go. Do you support this? Twerk Nation. Do you support this? This is what I want to know. As a matter of fact, let me go over here. I want to know, do you support this? See, when you come at me, this is what I'm gonna come with. When you go to talking about what I'm doing over here, and you are a cult, and you worry about what the hell I'm doing over here, I ain't playing with you. I ain't playing with you dudes, bro. I'm not playing with you, you Alphabet Boy fanboys or you Deontay Wilder fanboys. I am not playing with you. Go on back over there, find out who your dad is, get out your mama's basement, get you a car before you can even talk to me. Literally. This is not the channel for you. And I say it time and time again. I say, if you're a fanboy, this is not the channel for you. I say, if you support the Alphabet Boy community, this is not the channel for you. I say this time and time again. And no matter how much I say it, they keep coming back. You either slow or you stupid. And I think you're a combination of the two. And I say time and time again, if I hurt your feelings, I do not care. Good. Because what's one thing I do know? It's one thing I do know. If I'm at a place where I'm not wanted, I would not be there. I would leave that place. I don't go to places where I'm not wanted. If you are a Deontay Wilder fanboy, you are not wanted. Why are you here? If you are an Alphabet Boy community fanboy and supporter, you are not wanted. Why are you here? I don't go to places where I'm not wanted. But y'all keep coming back. Why? Why? I don't rock with y'all. I don't like nothing you stand for. Why are you over here? I rock with all of my peoples in the chat who love the sport of boxing. We don't like fanboys on this channel. We don't like fanboys. We don't like alphabet boy supporters. Literally. Just being honest with you. Let's do this. Let's do this. Because I got to get them now. Shout out to Lady Shan. Hit the Ali bell for Lady Shan. You started, I'm going to finish it, though. That's one thing about me. If you started, I'm going to finish it. I have to. You Deontay Wilder fanboys make me sick. Literally, you make me sick. You alphabet boy channel fanboys make me sick. You disgust me. But you keep coming on back over here. You keep coming back over here. But that's good though. I love it. You like you apparently you must be a pain freak. You love verbal abuse. So since you love verbal abuse, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it all to you. Now I just showed you exhibit A of your king from Alabama saying that he's Mother Goose. He wants to know what it feels like to experience having babies and getting pregnant. So that's how y'all rock over there. You talking about signing the petition to get Deontay Wilder's losses and draw removed from his record. You need to sign a petition to tell Deontay Wilder to stop twerking and stop talking about having babies from women. That is the petition that you need to put together to sign. Sign that petition. Sign a petition to have your king not worry about having babies and twerking. Sign that petition. Where is the petition for that? Now, I will sign that petition. Where is the petition for that? That's what I want to know. Since we sign a petition, let's sign that petition. Let's sign that petition. Focus on that. Your king has a fight coming up against Tyson Fury. A petition is the last thing he needs to be worried about. A petition. Petition your king to bounce back on July the 24th and beat Tyson Fury. Petition that. That's what you need to petition. I have been watching, I'm 47 years old. I've been watching boxing a long time. I've never seen anything like this, any foolishness like this. I never seen Muhammad Ali talking about he want to have babies. I never saw Mike Tyson saying he want to have babies. Pernell Whitaker, Lennox Lewis, Evander Holyfield, Joe Louis, Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, Simon Brown, Bernard Hopkins, Roy Jones. Come on, man. But you come over here and get mad at me because I'm jumping on your king. No homo. Literally. Because I'm calling out facts. You want to sign a petition to get his loss and his draw removed because you saying Tyson Fury cheated, but you don't want to sign a petition to stop him from twerking and stop him from saying he want to have babies from his girlfriend. Make that make sense to me. Literally. So since you want attention, I'm going to give it to you. Since you want attention, I'm going to give it to you. Since you want attention, I'm going to give it to you. Let's do this, though. We're going to do this the right way. I'm going to go on over here. It's a little slow right now. I'm going to go over here. Since you want attention, I'm going to give you all the attention you want. I'm going to give you all the attention you want. This is for the alphabet boy, aka the letter people community supporters, and this is for the Bomb Squad Nation, who represent this foolishness, who support this foolishness. Gotta give it to you. You asked for it, I'm gonna give you. I'm finna give it to you now. You came to the wrong channel, sir. Let's see what your king like to do. Let's see what your king like to do right here. We'll go over here. We're gonna get straight to the meat and potatoes of this. Since you coming over here, right? Let me know. Let me know if this is what you let me know if this is what you support. Let me know if this is what you support. Here we go. Here we go. Let me know if this is what you support. Let me know if you support this. This your king. So this what you support right here? Do you support this? You like that, huh? So you mad at me because I don't support this foolishness right here. Right. So talk about that. We need to sign a petition. We need to sign a petition to say, hey, listen, if you are a heavyweight champion, we don't want to see you twerking, and we don't want to see you saying that you want to have babies from women, if you're a man. Let's sign that petition. So anyways, shout out to Brian Edwards for giving me the super chat codes. Brian Edwards say, Coach, the jealous ones can't beat you, brother. The ignorance is clear. Absolutely, fam. Very ignorant. They're very ignorant. Shout out to my main man, Toon. Toon gave me a super chat as well. Toon. Shout out to my brother, Toon, man. Shout out to Toon. I'm late, Coach. I'm sorry, big dog. I'm on a load right now. Yeah, Toon, man. Yeah, absolutely, brother. Absolutely, Toon. So anyways, I just wanted to share that, you know, with the Wildettes out there, the letter people, the Alphabet Boy supporters, and the Wildettes. You know, you talking about signing a petition. Sign a petition to stop your king from twerking. Sign a petition to stop the ex-American heavyweight champion of the world from saying that he wants to get pregnant and have a baby and know what it feels like to have a baby. Again, this is not the channel for you if you are an Alphabet Boy supporter. This is not the channel for you. If you are supporter of heavyweight champions, ex-heavyweight champions, getting pregnant and having babies, this is not the channel for you. If I hurt your feelings, I mean to. I hope that I hurt your feelings so much that you'll never come back over here again. This is why I do this. But guess what? You'll be back tomorrow. You will be back tomorrow. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. You will be back tomorrow. And you're going to be back the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Do you want to know why? Because you are a gluten for this verbal assault that I have for you. You're pain-free. You're pain-free. That's obvious. Shout out to my main man, Paul CX, for the super chat. And we're going to ring the Ali bell for my brother, Paul CX. Listen. This is what we're going to do. We're going to start a petition. From this point forward, see how many signatures I can get. If Young Pharaoh can put one together, and I got much love for Young Pharaoh. I really do. But even if I have love for you, I have to call you out on your foolishness. I have to. I have to. You got 13,000 fools signing a petition to try to get reinstated, a loss and a draw, removed from Deontay Wilder's record so that he can be 44-0 now. And say that this is what mess up his mental state outside of the sport of boxing. On Sly Tennessee, did you get the last super chat, Coach? About the DMs? Let me see, fam. Let me see. Hold on. You know what, Sly Tennessee, man, if I missed it, brother, I'm so sorry, fam. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry, brother, if I missed it. I got Toon, Brian Edwards, Sly Tennessee. Yeah. Shout out to my brother Sly Tennessee. Check the DMs for 9. 7 seconds long. What DM? What DM, fam? Who did he send a DM to? Yeah, that dude crazy. I don't even rock with that dude at all. That dude crazy. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Yeah, I didn't yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that, brother. I don't. Are you talking about on my Instagram, my IG? I can check in and see. I can check in and see if you want me to. But anyway, let's put together a petition saying that if you are a okay, I'm gonna check it out, Slide Tennis. I'm gonna check it out. Let's put together a petition and say that if you are any professional boxer, and we see you twerking, and we see that you're saying that you want to see what it feels like to get impregnated and have babies, your boxing license should be stripped. This is a gladiator sport. This is not a twerking sport. This is not I have a fetish or fantasy one day to want to get pregnant, to see what it feels like, to go through what a woman goes through. What man would say that? What heavyweight champion would say that? Now, listen, if he's into that, if that's his thing, that's his thing. You see what I'm saying? If that's what he's into, so be it. I notice I'm not seeing anything from the Alphabet Boy, the Wildettes. I notice I ain't seeing nothing in the chat no more. I must have ran them off. Good. So anyways, guys, man, I want to give everybody a shout out in the chat, man. I really do, man. I support everybody that's in the chat. If you rock with me, I rock with you. If you're not, then, you know, so be it. This is not the channel for you. But other than that, man, I got much love and respect for everybody in the chat. I really do. My brother on Sly Tennessee's. Other than that, a more feminine man would say it, coach. Anyways, let's give everybody a shout out. Shout out to my sister, Lady Shan. Shout out to Punch Drunk Boxer for stopping by, hollering at the old boy. Shout out for Retro Boxing for stopping by. Shout out to Blood Boxing. Shout out to Major Key Boxing. Please support those channels. Support Lady Shan's channel. Support Retro Boxing channel. Support Blood Boxing channel. Support Punch Drunk Boxing channel. And support Major Key Boxing channel. Please support those channels, man. Those are some damn good channels. Please support those channels. I'm going to acknowledge this last super chat from my brother Paul. Shout out to my brother Paul CS for the super chat, man. And I'm going to give everybody a shout out, man. You know how we do it over here. We're going to give everybody a shout out over here. You know how I do it, man. I do not leave unless I give everybody a shout out. Shout out to my main man, Toon. Hey, Toon say, well, if we go off of Young Pharaoh's logic, we should be signing for AB to get L from Maidana removed. AB actually has a case with the gloves looking like Floyd, looking at the Floyd fight, but he made no excuses. Yeah, absolutely. That's hey, you know what? That's a valid point, Toon. That's a valid point. That's a valid point. You know what I mean? That's a valid point, brother. You hit the nail right on the head. Other than that, man, let me give everybody a shout out. Shout out to my sister Lisa Bales. Much love to Lisa Bales. Shout out to Carmen Serene. Shout out to Alan Skill. Shout out to Thinking Is Free. Shout out to My OB. Shout out to Net Stuff 19. Shout out to Joe B in the building. Shout out to, let's see, who else we have? Shout out to my main man Smith the West, who was here earlier. Shout out to what's my brother's name? Oh, I forgot my brother's name. Be forgetting. He been rocking with me since I had 50 subscribers too. I forgot the brother name, man. Hopefully I can remember. Shout out to Paul CX. Shout out to Adam Flores. Shout out to HB. Shout out to my brother Halim. Let's ring the Ali bell for Halim, man. Ring the Ali bell for Halim. Halim, thank you so much, brother, for sending my shirt. I got your text message, and I'm gonna follow the tracking on it. You know what I mean? Let's see. Shout out to Eddie. Shout out to Jabril. Shout out to Michael Doyle. Shout out to Sick Note Simpkins. Shout out to my main man Sly Tennessee's. Let's see. What your boy say? Maybe I'll start looking out for the. Shout out to my main man Adrian. Shout out to Wizard Sleeve. Shout out to let's see who else we have. Shout out to Thomas Wall. Let's see. Shout out to Michael Doyle. Shout out to my main man Alan Skill. Who else we got? Shout out to Oscar De La Boya. Come on, man. This, you know, oh, okay. Let me go ahead and move like. Shout out to Brian Edwards, man. Shout out, good looking out for the super chat, fam. Shout out to Graham Taylor. Shout out to Where Is the Movie, Tommy? Let's see. Shout out to Daniel. Shout out to my main man, Toon. And this guy right here. What you say? Guitars for you. Shout out to you too. I understand you represent the you're part of the twerk nation. You're part of the twerkinator nation. Shout out to you though. Come back tomorrow so I can roast you some more. You love it. I know you do. Let's see. Shout out to Nets 19. Who else we got? Shout out to Javis Bickle. Shout out to Unbearfield. Unverified Bear. Shout out to Vizio. Shout out to let's see who else we have. Shout out to Red Hawk. Let's see who else we have. Shout out to Glory. Shout out to Glory William. Shout out to who else we got? Oh, this is another Alphabet Boy supporter. Come on back tomorrow, man, so I can roast y'all again. Y'all pain freaks. Y'all love it. Shout out to Bacon and Eggs. Shout out to Dragon Leg, my main man Dragon Leg. Shout out to Paul CX. Shout out to the Joker. And what you say to Joker? You said you're gonna set up a petition? Yeah, man, set that petition up, Joker. Set that petition up. Do that, fam. I'll sign it. Shout out to Jera. Who else we have? There's a lot of other people that was on here, man, that kind of fell off. And I feel like I'm missing everybody. Shout out to George Ickles. Let's see who else we have. Shout out to Corey Bradley. Shout out to my sister, Lady Shan, once again. Shout out to Fred 12 Lawa. Shout out to Arlette. Who else we got? Shout out to the Spawn. What is it? Shout out to the Spawns. Shout out to Corn Kid. Corn Kid, you who I was looking for, fam. I was looking for you. Shout out to Corn Kid. And shout out to my brother Halim. And shout out to what's the sister that was on earlier. Shout out to Karma Serene. Shout out to Lisa Bells. Shout out to Lady Shan. We gotta salute the women, the sisters. And there's another sister that was on, man. I forgot your name. Please do not be upset with me. Please do not be upset with me. I forgot. I'm trying to find you. Shout out to Arlette. And if I forgot you, I do apologize. Once again, it's that boy. Shout out to Zandy. Once again, it's that boy Coach Malachi Williams, representing for New Media Today USA Boxing. You know what I mean? We will be live again tomorrow at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Other than that, it's that boy Coach Malachi Williams, representing for New Media Today USA Boxing. We are an anti-fanboy, anti-alphabet boy boxing community. If you represent any of those things that I just mentioned, this is not the channel for you. And shout out to Mr. Angus. Other than that, shout out to my main man Shelton Moore as well, and Smith and West as well. Other than that, this is about Coach Malachi Williams, representing for New Media Today USA Boxing. Peace.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.